Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Adamson Stadium for this homecoming matchup featuring the Slippery Rock number 17 in all the land, visiting the Cal U Vulcans. Welcome in for this homecoming broadcast. Colin Kirkwood back to join you here on CUTV. Joined alongside of me, the usual suspects here, John Sape, as well as the esteemed Johnny Sakaguchi. Gentlemen, it's a beautiful afternoon for homecoming.
Oh, great day, Colin, and it's great to do another game with you. It's always a treat for that. Beautiful weather, or you couldn't ask for a better day.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect out here today. Beautiful weather, beautiful day, and I mean, it's going to be a great day for football.
But Sape, let's take a start here first. We'll look at Cal U's last matchup on the road at Seton Hill. It was a tough one, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was not the best display from the Vulcans. I'm sure not only the players and the coaches will say that as well. California is able to get the win 21-14. The offense, uncharacteristically unable to get anything going, especially in that second half. Some highlights from that game, though. Noah Dillo, career high in tackles, 14 tackles on the day in that game. Noah Mitchell, QB1, 239 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and Jaquay Jackson was able to get 5 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown in that game. So a couple bright spots, but not the greatest display from the Vulcans.
Got it done, however. But Johnny, on the opposite side here for the Rock, they're coming in after their home cup matchup of their own against Gannett. They got the win.
Yeah, battle of one still undefeated conference team there with Gannett, and along with IUP, who's also still undefeated here in the conference. But Slippery Rock on homecoming last week for them scored 24 unanswered points to start the game, and, along with quarterback Noah Grover throwing for 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, along with a couple rushing touchdowns from his guys in the backfield with Tim Smith and Isaiah Edwards also running a touchdown each.
But Sape, we'll take a look here now at the tail of the tape between these two squads.
I mean, both teams pretty evenly matched, despite what the record shows. Both teams coming into this one very, very close in terms of numbers and points per game. California putting up 32.4 compared to Slippery Rock, not IUP, 33.6. Both defenses very strong this season. California giving up about 17.4 points a game. Slippery Rock giving up 13 yards per game. Slippery Rock has the bigger advantage there, averaging 425 yards per game on offense compared to California's 371. Both teams converting similarly on the third downs, 50% for Slippery Rock, 51% for California. And then time of possession, both teams averaging over 30 minutes. California 30 minutes, 52 seconds time of possession average compared to Slippery Rock's 31 minutes, 38 seconds. So like I said, even though the record may not show, both teams coming into this game pretty evenly matched.
But Johnny, we take a look here at the PSAC West, and it's a logjam towards the middle there.
Yeah, that it is, Colin, and this is a must-win game for both California and Slippery Rock. Both teams having 2 losses is already. He is the logjam, and like you said, it's a 3-way tie for second place right now. Not only between the Rock, California, and Gannon as well. All 3 schools coming in here are with a 3-1 conference record. This one's going to have some playoff implications. In California right now,
it's a bit of an uphill battle for them to make their way towards it here, but still not out of it in the West means. But Slippery Rock really cannot afford another loss here at this point in time after taking that loss to IUP.
And they also took a hard loss during crossover play as well. I believe is what I saw in the notes we got from
only loss here on the ledger against IUP, and that was their lone loss on the road for the Rock.
Yeah, but if Slippery Rock wants any hopes of playoff implications,
they've got to win this matchup and win out.
To win this game, win out, and then they're going to need some help from whatever team's playing IUP along the way. So it's a big game for them, and it's a big game for the Vulcans. Their playoff chance is a little bit less so than Slippery Rock's, but yet again, if California wants a chance, they need to be able to win this game today.
It's a beautiful afternoon here at Adamson Stadium. The sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky here. Cal U taking the field in their home black uniforms here. They'll have red pants this afternoon with the black top, and the Rock taking the field in the all-white look here with green lettering and green numbers between these two. It's like Cal U will receive the ball here to get things underway between these two. 2 back for the Vulcans to go after this one.
And it looks like the usual suspects for the Vulcans. It'll be Noah Hamlin back there. A little change this time with John Harper as well.
All teed up, just about set to get underway here. The last game in the PSAC to kick off this Saturday is a go from Adamson Stadium. Way towards that far side here. Bobbled a bit, trying to get a hold of this one. It's bobbled on the way out of bounds there, so really not the way you want to get started here. Just lucky enough to hang on to that ball. Well, we've got a chance here. Safe, let's take a look at the Cal U offensive starters.
The offensive starters, very similar to what we've seen all year. Noah Mitchell back there manning this team, falling on the backfield with him will be Eric McCann III. Wide receivers out there, Jaquay Jackson, Cam Tarrant as always, and that offensive line steady as ever. Noel Browse, Jaheim Bassam, Bryce Perkins, Matt Charlton, and Fritz Kelly Edmond. And then Junior McConaughey will be the starting tight end today for the California Vulcans.
In a second here, Johnny, we'll check out that Slippery Rock defense following this 1st and 10 coming up. Ball sitting at the Cal U 12. Mitchell deep in his own zone here to get things started. We'll have a tandem back there in the backfield with him here. 2 stacked towards the near side, breaking it out and spreading through here. Looks like it'll be a handoff towards the near side to shuffle through. And just able to get across that 10 there. Maybe lucky to get a yard, if anything. But, Johnny, let's check out the defensive starters for the Rock.
Looking at the starters for the Rock on that defensive line, we have DJ Ajuda, Daniel Husa, and Jeff Marks, excuse me, Munchie Johnson, and Brandon Bischoff, Braden Truck Hayden, and Jacob Williams, Ali Abdul Hakim, along with Eddie Funkel IV, Jaden Dangerfield, Kyle Hyde, Kyle Butts, and Coach Russells.
Second down coming up here, still 2nd and 10 this time. Mitchell on the keeper, rolling it across the 15, tried to shimmy his way through there and taken down around the shoestrings. 3rd down on the way.
And we've seen that a lot more in recent weeks than we saw, especially towards the beginning of the season. Noah Mitchell showing off a little bit more with his legs. We saw at the beginning.
It's an underrated part of his game, really.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see too much of him running, but as the weeks have gone on, you've seen this read option be more effective for the Vulcans, and we've seen Mitchell keeping himself quite a bit.
3rd and 5 coming up now from the Vulcans 17. They'll spread it out in the 3-wide format here. 2 over on that far side, 1 to the near side. Mitchell keeping the dual setup in the backfield. First drive of the homecoming matchup here between these two. Mitchell back to throw on 3rd down. Screen look here towards the near side. That was complete across the 15 to the 20. Should be enough for 1st down yardage there from Malik McGriff, the Clarion transfer. Getting that one through, Johnny.
Yeah, McGriff's been in a very good piece to this offense here. That running back that Mitchell's been looking for, or McGriff, one of them big backs. He can run it down your throat, or he can go out in the flats and catch it himself.
Setting up here once again, another 1st and 10 on the way, sitting at the Vulcan 23. Looks like they'll stack up in trips on the far side. That'll be all, man to the right. Standing back here, another handoff towards the near side, cutting it up, across the 25, across the 30, and diving on forward there on that carry. It's Eric McCann.
Another great rush from McCann, and we've seen that in recent weeks. This running back trio of McCann, McGriff, and Williams has been fantastic all season. McCann able to lay the boom, and you saw him showing up to his teammates a little bit. I mean, big hit, and picked up some nice yardage on the 1st down run.
Very underrated to have a stacked backfield like that to turn to and always have fresh legs available. 2nd and 2 coming up here from the Vulcan 31, keeping the same format out there, trips on that far side. Handoff up the middle, looking to rumble through McCann again. Couldn't quite get much going there. Looks like they will give him a generous gain of 1 and a 3rd down coming up. But Johnny, you mentioned it before we got started here. The Vulcans looking to snap a losing streak to the Rock.
Yeah, 0-4 in the last couple of contests. The last time that the Vulcans won, and going back to 2016, when they won at 52, put up a 52 spot against the Rock here at home.
12 minutes remaining here in the 1st quarter. If you're just joining us here, Vulcans looking to convert on a 3rd and 1. Noah directly under the middle here. Pre-snap motion. Everyone charging in forward here, just trying to push the humanity, and I don't think they're going to get anywhere near that one as the ball's turned over completely, and the Rocks got it now. Tough to hold on to there, Safe.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really tell from here, but you heard the entirety of the Slippery Rock bench screaming ball. McCann just trying to work his way forward. Only needed 1 yard, but looks like the great pressure by that Slippery Rock defensive line, able to get back there and punch it loose, and Slippery Rock now going to take over with great field position.
This will be a tough place for the Vulcans to defend from here, but they have been a stout defensive unit all year long.
And that's the one thing the Vulcans have had is a good run-stopping defense, and they're going to have to shell out tonight.
Looking to get set here, but it looks like Cal U's going to try to calm down a bit here after that and opt for a timeout and try to sort things through. Probably mentioned it here, the last game to get started in the PSAC, a couple of good matchups across the board.
Yeah, I have the schedule right in front of me here. All these games, a couple of them have already finished up, but the games that took place today, Edinburgh traveled and faced off Clarion Shepherd versus Westchester. Those games were a noon kickoff time. At 1 p.m., Merciers versus Gannon, and there were 2 p.m. kickoff games, Seton Hill versus IUP Shippensburg versus Millersville, and as well as East Stroudsburg versus Bloomsburg, and then 1 3 o'clock game. So we were the last game to kick off. Lock Haven versus Kutztown kicked off just about half an hour ago.
We just saw the defensive starters for Cal U on the screen quickly, as well as the offensive starters for the Rock as well. Crowd is jumping here at Adamson Stadium so far. You can see that handoff once again on your screen here. Just tried to push on through that pile of humanity towards the middle, and really tough to hang on to the ball when there's that many people chasing after it.
Yeah, once there's too many people on that inside, that Vulcans offensive line just couldn't get the push they needed, and Slippery Rock doing their job, able to force a turnover.
Here's the senior Noah Grover taking over to quarterback for the Rock. And this is an offense that likes to let it fly, as they love to pass the football here, but Grover showing off the legs and wrapped up around the 25. Just looking at the stack here for their receivers, it's just a plenty of yards to be found across 449, 304, 284, 261 in terms of yards for 4 different receivers coming into this matchup.
I mean, it's a high-powered offense for a reason, averaging over 400 yards a game.
Garnering that 17th rank.
That's the reason why they're one of the best teams in the nation right now.
2nd down and 6 now for the Rock from the Vulcan 25. Grover again on the handoff, breaking it towards the near side, looking to run across the 25, cutting upfield with this one, shimmying on forward. Looks like that was Chris Dior, number 6, carrying that one, Johnny.
And Dior was a big factor last week for the Rocket on that homecoming game, as he had a touchdown and ran for 105 yards. So he's going to be someone that the Vulcans have to keep in check, along with the rest of that backfield.
Backfield that can also take off and has plenty of yards amassed so far here. Very deep in both of those skilled positions on the field here. 3rd and 1 now from the Vulcan 20. Grover stacked in close. Dior with the handoff again, but the Vulcans breaking through there to shut that one down.
Great stop that time, and who
Gabe
else?
Miller coming through there on that one.
Yeah, Gabe Miller doing a great job of reading the play all the way. And we saw with the Vulcans in that first drive that read option, but Grover didn't keep himself, decided to hand it off. But Gabe Miller doing a great job. It looks like Slippery Rock keeping the offense out there now.
Not a bad chance to roll the dice here, Johnny.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this season between in the Vulcans and their opponents going for it on 4th down, but Cal has stood tall many a times here.
They'll break it out in a 4-wide look here. Ended up being a 3-wide look, tossing it towards the outside. That is complete for 1st down yardage for the Rock. On the outside, that was Cohen Russell, number 1.
And that was a greatly executed play. Grover rolling to his left and just had that outbreaking route, able to convert on that 4th down.
Things are moving very quickly here, and I think the Vulcans are going to go for another timeout here.
It seems like they didn't really know what they were doing. Had a couple of players just...
And that's 2 timeouts quickly gone here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, not good for the Vulcans there. You don't want to see them burning through your timeouts in the 1st quarter, or especially later on in the second half, or the 2nd quarter, excuse me, where we know the Vulcans like to run that 2-minute offense, and you need those.
I mean, they're already down 2 timeouts, and the game is just over 5 minutes into the game. So
it's going to force you to be rather efficient in that 2nd quarter.
Well, they do have the luxury of the clock stopping once they're able to get the 1st down to set the chains correctly, which we've seen them utilize in this 2-minute drill. But I mean, it's always nice to have a timeout. We've already seen firsthand what can happen when you don't have enough timeouts left on the clock.
We'll wait for them to break and finish here. 9:57 remaining in the 1st quarter of this one. Good old-fashioned PSAC West rivalry matchup between the Rock and Cal U. Great way to cap off homecoming weekend here. Setting up in a 4-wide look this time for Grover. He'll drop back to throw once again, standing tall in the pocket onto the outside. That one's complete. Toe tapping along that far side and pushed out there after that reception. Max Majewski, number 87, big tight end, getting the reception there. Not from far away here. He's a Ringgold product.
There's a couple of local guys competing in this one on either side. I mean, it's always nice to see Whitfield products playing in some high-level college football.
2nd down and 6 coming up now. Ball sitting on the Vulcan 11. Another handoff up the middle, rumbling forward. Dior getting ever so close here, down near the 5. Should be enough for a first, and it will be. So 1st and goal coming up here on the Rock, not wasting any time looking to get into the end zone here. Quickly a direct snap, and boy, that just did not look in sorts at all as the flag is down on the field here.
Yeah, I think somebody moved up front.
I think the entire offensive line moved.
Everybody was on the move there with that one.
Before the snap went off.
I guess you could say false start on pretty much everybody there, but you know they have to pick one officially, so they'll back it on up a bit and try things again here.
I mean, do they? Because I remember that false start call a few years ago, everyone but the center.
I do vaguely remember that, yeah.
That was a perfect case of it right there. The entire team moved before the center snapped the ball.
They'll try things again here. 1st and goal sitting at the Vulcan 5. A lot of air on this one towards the near side, but able to cut back in, and a touchdown for the Rock. That was Cohen Russell again, knifing through the defense there. Looked like it was going to be overthrown initially, but found a way to get back to it.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one, Colin. I thought Grover put a little too much air in that one, but find the receiver right there in the back corner.
And we can take a look at it once again on this replay. An interesting coverage by the Vulcans. Thought that the defender maybe would have been able to get it, but looks like he even thought it was overthrown. Looks like he overran the receiver coming back to make the catch, and just like that, Slippery Rock able to get themselves on the board first.
Things breaking well in favor of the Rock here early in this one. A member of the Vulcans down on the field right now being attended to. We'll wait for the extra point opportunity, but you can see it here once again on your screen. Just let that one fly towards the near side there. Tried to work on the way through and able to come back and just worked out well in that near corner.
Looks like Gage Hill.
Number 99.
Looks like Gage Hill, the injured Vulcan coming up on his own power, walking off the field now.
Opsatnik in to attempt the extra point.
DJ Opsatnik on here for the extra point for the Rock. Hold is down, kick is up. It's a wobbler.
Kick is up.
It finds its way through. So the Rock taking the lead here early in this one, 7-0. 9:24 remaining here in the first quarter of this one. Stay tuned for more Vulcans football right here on CUTV.
Vulcan football is back this fall. September 1st versus Fairmont State. September 10th at Kutztown. September 17th at Shepherd. September 24th versus Edinburgh. October 1st at Clarion. October 8th versus IUP. October 15th at Seton Hill. October 22nd versus Slippery Rock. October 29th at Mercyhurst. November 5th versus Gannon. November 12th versus East Stroudsburg. All games live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
Welcome back here. The Rock getting ready to kick this one off. Back to Cal U, who really needs to find a way to right the ship after coughing up the football on their first drive.
And we saw that last week against Seton Hill. The offense didn't start off super strong. Had a couple possessions where they were able to get some yardage, but kind of sputtered it out towards the end. But towards the end of that first quarter, especially in the second quarter, they were really able to find that groove as they went for a squib kick.
Yeah, bouncer here. Vulcans trying to get a hand on it, able to secure it here around the 25. Just stumbling on forward to hold on to that one. Ibrahim Sanogo, one of the linebackers out there on special teams, number 49. Trying to hold on to that one. But, Johnny, you have to right the ship here. Things a little bit shaky early in this one.
Yeah, like Safe said earlier, the Vulcans offense, for some reason this year, are always getting off to a slow start in these last couple of games. So hopefully, after, like you said, coughing up the football, they can come out here and get something going here. I mean, they ran the football great with McGriff. If maybe you go to the well again with him after McCann coughed up the ball last time.
Noah Mitchell and company back out here, setting a 4-wide scenario here, taking over from their own 29 slant route there. Towards the middle, that one is complete. Not going to find a whole lot of yards there, but good enough for Jaquay Jackson. Always have to watch out for him, as he is going to be a target as he actually limps his way off the field here.
Hopefully everything's okay with him, because he is the real playmaker on this offense. I mean, you've seen it time and time again all season, getting well over 100 yards pretty much every single game.
788 yards coming into this matchup.
I believe, I'm not quite sure where he ranks, but that is definitely up there.
It's near the top in the country. You are correct with that.
Last time I looked, I think he was in the top 25 of that. I don't hold me to that.
Mitchell looking to throw onto the outside. That one's complete on the check down. Not room to operate for Cam Tarrant. Another lethal target here. So a few years ago, he made an acrobatic catch against the Clarion Golden Eagles here at home. Tipped it to himself up in the air about 3 times towards the right corner end zone. Was able to bring that one in as one of the better plays I've seen Tarrant make in a long, long time.
I actually remember that one. That was definitely a stellar catch. Hopefully we see something like that again today.
Would love to see him break it out here.
Right.
3rd and 4 now from the Vulcan 35 on the cutup for Tarrant. And a little bit early there on the defensive pressure for the Rock, but they won't say anything coming out of that.
Yeah, you can see the
Jacob Williams cutting in there on that one.
You can see that Vulcan sideline a little bit upset about that. Like you said, it kind of looked like the defender came in onto the backside of Tarrant a little bit
really
too
swarmed
early.
In there.
But another big stop for the Rock, and this Vulcan offense, like we talked about, no stranger to getting off to a slow start, but they need to be able to keep pace on the defensive end if they want to stay in this game.
So the punt team on here for Cal U to send this one away back to the Rock. It's Cohen Russell back to receive this one for Slippery Rock. Touchdown on the ledger for him so far. Coming around the edge, that one could have been easily blocked there. And Russell waving for the fair catch. It bounced off him here, and the Vulcans might have the ball, and that could be the break that they need to get back into this one.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Colin. I believe that's what they're going to call. Oh, it's going to be a muff punt. Punt recovered by the Vulcans.
And we've seen that time and time again from California this season. Clayton Rosensteel, the freshman punter coming into this season, has been phenomenal, and he had a booming punt, and that Russell wasn't ready for it. He had to backtrack, and that's what caused him to not be able to pull that one in.
It was Logan Pfister, number 14, in there for Cal U on the special teams to get this one back. And boy, I'll tell you what, special teams having an impact on this game so far.
Yeah, that's one thing we've talked about this season. The Vulcan special teams been dominant and out there on the field. Well, whether it's kickoff team, punt team, return team, whatever, or just been absolutely phenomenal. Or going back a couple weeks ago where they blocked 3 punts against Clarion.
1st and 10 now for Cal U in the red zone from the Rock 13. Great place to get started. Quick movement here, tried to flick this one through, bouncing it off, and Mitchell tried to dump it off quickly. They're trying to call for the incomplete pass there.
And maybe luckily so, because Jaquay Jackson, if that play continued to go, it looks like he's going to lose maybe 5 or 6 on it. So California, luck out. And I believe that muff punt, it kind of got the fans a little bit more into it. The place was quiet after the Rock
in here now.
Was able to get that first touchdown. Now the fans seeming to get a little bit more into it.
So clock stopped at 7:50, still in the first quarter of this one. Cal U looking to even the score here, trailing 7-0. Mitchell back up again, 2 on that far side, and he'll have 1 to his right. Some pressure here from the Rock as they go for the handoff. Up the near side and cut down efficiently there again.
The ball carrier, run down by Haynes.
Griff carrying that one forward, so we're back to 3rd down here once again.
Gain on the play.
Thought he might have actually got some positive yardage, but looks like he only got back to the line of scrimmage.
Trio stack over there on that far side, 1 to the near side for Mitchell. Quick word over to the side. And will we see another timeout here early in this one? And yes, the Rock is going to burn a timeout here.
And understandably so. This is a big third down, and this is a big opportunity for the Vulcans. I mean, the offense hasn't been able to get much going so far, and when you're gifted the ball all the way inside of their own territory and have the opportunity to get themselves back into this game, they need to be able to take it. And you can look at your screen right now is the PSAC schedule today that we already talked about. This game being the last one to kick off. Edinburgh, Clarion, Shepherd, Westchester, Warriors at Gannon, Seton Hill at IUP, Shippensburg at Millersville, East Stroudsburg at Bloomsburg, and then Lock Haven at Kutztown. All those games have already kicked off, and a few of them.
I think Johnny's got some live hits for us here.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I got a couple of all the games that have already gone final. Shepherd over Westchester 47-14. Edinburgh also putting up a 47 spot against Clarion 47-17 in that one. Mercyhurst, their woes continue as they lose to Gannon 49-14 in that contest. And as I get more scores, I'll let you guys know.
Thank you for that, Johnny. Getting ready here for the 3rd and 10. This Cal U offense at the Rock 13. Great chance for them to even up here. Jackson, some pre-snap movement here, 4-wide setup. Mitchell back to throw, pressure, rolls out to the far side, flag flies. Might see a hold off of that on Cal U as he just throws this one away.
Pass is incomplete. There is a flag on the play.
The rush for the Rock broke through very quickly there.
And that's not something that we see too often. Last week, Seton Hill able to get to Noah Mitchell a couple of times, but this, for the most part, this offensive line has been fantastic this year at giving Noah Mitchell the time he needs to get the ball to his playmakers like Jackson, like Tarrant. But that, like you said, that pass rush able to get to them quickly, and that flag will go against the Vulcans, but Slippery Rock will decline, and California will send out the field goal unit.
That's Noel Browse, number 79, the left tackle. Which means that Anthony Bietko will be out here to kick this one for the Vulcans. Long of 41 this season for him. So he'll try to chip into this early deficit here. This one to be kicked from the 20. Hold is down. Here's the kick. And that one is good. So the Vulcans chipping away here early at this one, 7-3. Slippery Rock still in the lead. 6:53 left to go in the first quarter of this one. Stay tuned for more Vulcans football right here on CUTV and WCAL.
Another season of volleyball action is here, and CUTV has you covered. From the season-opening Vulcan Invitational to an entire slate of PSAC West action, you won't miss one exciting dig, pass, or kill. All games will be live on PSAC Network, as well as CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube. For all things Vulcan athletics, check out calvulcans.com for schedules, stats, and more. With calvulcans.com and CUTV, you'll have the best seat in the house.
Vulcans getting ready to kick this one away here, getting a field goal on the board, but still trailing 7-3.
I mean, it was very important on that drive that they didn't come up empty-handed. The ball is gifted to you deep inside of their own territory, and they were able to get some points on the board. Probably not what they wanted. They wanted the touchdown, but they'll take the 3 points nonetheless.
Kick is up and away towards the far side of the field here. That one takes a backspin around the 5. The Rock forced to pick this one up. Shuffling away with this one, 15, and out near the 17 after that. Don't think they were expecting that one to take that backspin on the way down, Johnny.
Yeah, that's, as I said, Ed, before the break, the Vulcans with the special team unit, and just so precise on how they do things. We've seen them pin teams back like that before a couple times this year. So not surprised that one took that weird backspin. And we also have to factor in there's a little bit of a breeze today as well, Colin.
Yeah, a bit stronger than I think we originally anticipated here. Grover and company looking set to begin here from their own 17. Handoff up the middle, trudging across the 20.
Dior, the ball carrier.
It's Dior again carrying this one.
That's been in the story of Slippery Rock season, and it's just handing off to Dior every time and just rumbling forward for a few yards.
Came into this matchup 84 carries for 559 yards, and there he is again trying to push that one, but he'll be dropped for a loss.
Yeah, great rush there. And once again, the Miller brothers linking up in the backfield. We're able to see this one coming from all the way back there, able to get into the backfield and force a 3rd and about 7 now for the Rock.
The Rock 50% on 3rd downs coming into this matchup here. We'll see what they can do on a 3rd and 7. Both teams rather efficient on 3rd down. 50 for the Rock and 51% for the Vulcans coming into this one. Not easy to get both of these offenses off the field. Back with the 3rd and 7, onto the outside, and the turnaround catch is complete. Great effort there to turn and keep that back shoulder in the right place. That's Kyle Sheets, number 5.
And as we look at the replay here Grover had a little bit of pressure coming his way, but stood tall as he got that one off, and finds Sheets walking in the tightrope there, and Wade able to stay in balance, get 1 foot in. And I thought it was going to be close, but either way, 1st down on Slippery Rock.
Sitting at the 38 of the Rock here, Dior, hop, step, and a jump over there.
Dior, the ball carrier.
Jumped a lot farther than the actual yardage. Lucky to get a yard, maybe 2 on that.
And coming into this game, Dior averaging almost 7 yards a carry on the ground, so the Vulcans doing a great job so far at limiting those big play opportunities whenever he gets the ball. And we're no stranger to seeing them do that when they faced off against Shepherd earlier. Ronnie Brown averaging almost 11 yards a carry. The Vulcans were able to keep him quiet for most of the game as well.
2nd down and 8 now. Right at the Rock 40 is Grover dropping back to throw. Pressure in the pocket, trying to get away. Ball's out. Grover crawling to get on top of that football there, and he's lucky to hold on to it.
Yeah, the pressure we see once again, and the Miller brothers, Matt Toby and Noah Dello into the backfield all to make some noise once again, and nearly he came away with the turnover.
It's 3rd down.
Here comes a 3rd and 13 now for this Rock offensive unit.
And this Vulcan defense needs to stand tall. They need to be able to get the Rock off the field. They need to be able to get this ball back to the offense here.
They broke off a big gainer on 3rd down the last time. See what they can do again in a 4-wide set. Back to throw. Searching across, looking towards that far side again, was thinking about Sheets. Almost the same read there, but couldn't get a hold of.
Yeah, once again, and the Vulcan defense bringing the pressure. Sheets was right there on the hook and go. Oh, but I think Grover just felt the pressure coming quickly.
Cam Tarrant for the Vulcans back deep to receive. We saw him last week in the game against Seton Hill, muff one as well. So we've already seen 1 muff punt. Hopefully Cam Tarrant won't contribute to that here today.
It's Kyle Butts on to punt this one away.
I'm 5 years old, it's fine.
There's a flag on the field.
Looks like one of the guys moved up front for Slippery Rock.
That'll make it 4th down and 18.
It's Kenyon Johnson, number 84, getting the false start.
I will say this: the official the head referee may have the deepest voice I think I've ever heard in my life.
I know, it kind of shocked me there for a little bit. 4th and 18 now after that to punt this one away. And that one is up. Tight spin on this one. Good looking kick around the 30. Shuffling through, it's Tarrant, and Tarrant, decked there. Couldn't get going.
Tarrant returns it to the 31-yard.
But Johnny, we got a chance here. Why don't you take a look and see if you got anything else new. But before we do that, actually, let's talk a little bit more about that PSAC West save.
Go ahead, taking a look at the PSAC
It's tough
West
sliding
standings.
towards the middle.
Absolutely. 2 teams, both nationally ranked IUP, Slippery Rock near the top, IUP up top 4-0, Slippery Rock, Gannon, and California, all 3-1 in the conference. Following just behind them, Clarion 2-2, and just behind them, Edinburgh 1-3, and then Mercyhurst and Seton Hill both looking for their first conference wins of the season as well.
Mercyhurst, the opponent of the Vulcans next week on the road, the last road game in the regular season for Cal U, as they'll close out with 2 at home. Gannon as well as East Stroudsburg. End around here, off the run, good break here, might have a chance to shuffle across the 40. That had a lot of open space there, but the Rock able to close out.
Yeah, good block there by QB1, Noah Mitchell, getting in the way.
He's not afraid to get in there.
While we got a second call, and I do have a couple score updates for you. East Stroudsburg and Bloomsburg are going to a
the Berg battle.
As 27-21, and right now on that one, Millersville and Shippensburg are deadlocked at 14. Kutztown running over Lockhaven right now, 21-0.
Second and 1 now. Onto the outside on the carry, and back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 1 now.
That time another handoff to McCann, usually doing a better job at breaking off those tackles, but great job by Slippery Rock, able to wrap up and tackle him. And California in these 3rd down situations so far haven't been the greatest in the game, but they need to be able to convert here.
One more score for you, Colin. IUP leads Seton Hill right now 37-0 in the 3rd quarter, almost to the 4th now.
Boy, that tough season for the Griffins continues. 3rd and 1 now, sitting at the 41 for this Vulcan offense. And tried to delay the handoff there, and the Rock able to read that one and dropping it quickly.
And once again, that read option play, Mitchell decided to hand it off to McCann. And looks like I was going to ask you about a tough decision that the Vulcans have to make, but it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field, but there is a referee did blow the whistle.
Looks like they're going to measure it.
It's rather close. I mean, technically listed as a yard right now, but they might think about getting an exact. Oh, might change the spot here perhaps. And yeah, Johnny's right. Here comes the chains out to check this one.
It's going to be close.
And it's looking like it should be short.
Yeah, it's maybe a half a yard short of that 1st down marker.
Was worth the check, however, but I want to give a quick shout out to all the alumni watching on the live stream this afternoon. Make sure you tweet us at CUTV_PA. Let us know what year you graduated from good old Cal U. We'll make sure we shout out some of our favorite tweets here live on the air. You never know who's watching.
I do know one good friend of ours that's watching right now, and one of your old broadcast partners.
There are quite a few of those. Getting ready here, and I think I got a good idea who you're hinting at, but the kick up and away on the 4th and 1. Another fair catch coming up for the Rock. Right around the 18-yard line. So about 1:56 left here in the 1st quarter of this one. Back and forth between the two. Kind of a feeling out process so far.
Yeah, and like I said, the California no strangers to that. In the game against IUP, that 1st half, even though it did have some big plays, was very slow, very methodical from both teams, just trying to feel each other out, like you said, just trying to gauge the level of intensity that needs to happen. And that game finished in pretty dramatic fashion. So both teams just starting to warm up to each other, and I'm sure in the next couple of minutes, especially going into the next quarter, we'll start to see some both of these teams taking more risks.
Here's the Rock offense back to action. They'll try to push on forward with another handoff across the 15. It's Dior again. Heavy workforce back here for the Rock.
Josh Miller on the stop.
Like you said, heavy workforce coming into this game, had 84 rushing attempts on the season, which is an extreme amount considering the amount of games they've had, and has already added around a dozen more already to start the game.
2nd down and 8 now for the Rock from their own 15. Pre-snap motion here, breaking from the far side. Grover letting this one fly, has the one-on-one matchup, turnaround catch, he's got it. He might be all the way off to the races here. Look at him fly, 20, 15, 10, 5. And the Rock are on the board. Kyle Sheets sprinting down the field.
And that's a big guy running down the sideline. And Sheets, not a small receiver by any means, as we see him. He here listed 6'4", running down the sideline there for the Rock.
But you look at this replay here, and it's just a tough play there for that Vulcan defense. Left it in a one-on-one matchup, and it's a roll of the dice every time you try to go for that.
And you saw a couple weeks ago a play in this stadium ending up on the Sports Center top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if that one could make an honorable mention. Sheets coming back, coming around the defender to make the catch before breaking off the tackle and running over 80 yards for the touchdown.
Waiting for the extra point try here from the Rock. Bit of a low snap here. Able to scoop this one, and that kick is good. So the Rock leads 14-3 here. 1:08 left to go in the first quarter of this one. More football coming up right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM WCAM.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Welcome back here. The Rock getting ready to kick this one away. Very full opposing stands over there on the far side. As energized here as the Rock has a 14-3 lead. Brought in on the goal line and on the break. And that one won't get very far towards that 15.
You see some shoving between the players after the whistle's blown, and no surprise to that as we can take a look at the replay once again of that amazing catch made by Sheets, and that's just the product of this Vulcan defense. Very blitz heavy, very good linebacking and defensive front, and that kind of leaves your secondary exposed a little bit. Not a lot of one-on-one man coverage, and that time Sheets gets the better end of the draw.
Well, we also got a second here. Make sure you follow us on social media on Twitter or CUTV.
Yeah, like I said, give us a tweet. Let you know. CUTV_PA. Want to hear from all the alumni on homecoming weekend. Mitchell back to throw in this first and 10. A lot of pressure in the pocket, and he is swarmed immediately there.
Mitchell taken down behind the
Great rush by Slippery Rock that time, and like we talked about, we take a look at the replay here, just coming free on that far side. Mitchell had a decent pocket to start, but great coverage by Slippery Rock forces Mitchell to look towards his second and his third read, and then by the time he's looking at those reads, that defensive front's already at him.
About 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Mitchell back to throw from his own 10 towards the near side, and dangerous toss there. That one falls incomplete.
Borderline shove there by the defender for Slippery Rock. They got to watch doing that. They're going to get their hand caught in the cookie jar eventually.
21 seconds left here after the incompletion to Jackson. And quickly the Vulcans once again in a third down scenario with 18 to gain.
Looks like a Slippery Rock player going down injured on the near side of the field, and both teams will come over, talk things over. And we saw this last week a couple times, big plays deep in their own end zone, or deep in their own half of the field by the Vulcans, but so far this offense just hasn't been able to click.
They'll have time here in the second quarter to try to put things together, but really it feels as if that first series of events at the beginning of the game really took the wind out of the sails of Cal U.
And they got some of it back after the turnover on the muff punt, but they need to be able to capitalize on those. We saw Sape and I have both seen this season a lot, where you're calling, and where they get a good field position or a big turnover and get momentum swung their way, and then something happens where they just seem to stall out around on the midfield or get inside the red zone and just come away with a field goal.
And a lot of it, not today, but a lot of it in beforehand has been due to penalties. You know, penalties are drive killers, and they'll be able to get some decent yardage, get into good field positions, but penalties push them back. They stall out the drive, but today they've been fine. They just haven't been able to get anything going.
3rd and 18 with 21 seconds left in the first quarter. 14-3, the Rock with the lead here early. Mitchell dropping back to throw. letting this one fly across the middle. Had a chance at it for Tarrant, but into double coverage, and that one's incomplete.
Yeah, almost had a tight window for that throw by Mitchell. If he was a little bit more accurate on that throw, he would have been, Tarrant would have been able to have a better opportunity to catch it just too far ahead of him. But now the punting unit for the Vulcans coming out, Rosensteel's going to be backed up almost deep inside of his own end zone.
And not a great place to kick from here. Another injured player for the Rock almost made his way off the field over on that 40, but a few yards away from making it back.
I'm going to take a guess. It's probably a cramp. We've seen it before, or the weather starts getting hot. You've been used to this cold weather.
You're not used to it being about 70 degrees right now in October? You kidding me?
Especially at the end of October, too.
Yeah, I know. Oh, usually at this point in time, we're bundled up with a big, heavy jacket. It's in the thermals on, but today, this weekend's great.
I mean, I was last week when we were over at Seton Hill. It was pretty chilly. But
we were in the press box.
We were in the press box, but going outside, it was like 40 degrees. And today, it's high 60s, low 70s. It's beautiful.
What a great day.
I think when I saw earlier, especially after I talked to our good friend and alumni member of the broadcast team, Dylan G'day, I think he said it was supposed to get up to 72 at some point.
I'm looking at it right now, 73 degrees currently. So
it's
I mean, beautiful day.
Turn the air conditioners on.
Yeah, I feel like I need like a Cal U floral shirt.
Yeah, I was
nice
gonna say
button up, something like that.
I was gonna say I feel like today would be a good day for the Vulcan Hawaiian shirt I got sitting in the closet.
You got to share with me where you got that, because I could use one of those myself.
It was a giveaway.
Boy, I'm missing out. I'll tell you what.
They do it again, I'll grab you one.
Hey, that's what happens when you graduate.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But you know what? Great to be back here as we wait on this punt. Tight spiral again off the punt here. Might think about bringing this one out at the 40. Shimmying through, and about 5 seconds left here in the first. We'll stick around, but yeah, it's nice to be back here. Of course, myself, Colin Kirkwood, graduating in 2019 and 2020 as well. Currently off loan from the Frostburg State Bobcats to make my way back here this weekend for this Vulcans matchup. Had a Thursday night football game, funny enough, as quarterback Josh Dale for the Fairmont State Fighting Falcons. Got to see him on Thursday night.
And not too often you have that the Thursday night college football game so late in the season as well. Usually,
it's my third one this year.
Third one, because usually those are reserved for the beginning of the season.
Initially, we were only supposed to have two, but that one against Pembroke got moved up because of the hurricane coming through.
Sure did. That was a wild week. Here's Grover onto the outside, complete again. Sheets with about 1.4 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and coming into today's game, Sheets was Glover's leading receiver at 32 catches for 449 yards and 4 touchdowns coming into this game. I believe that's about his third or fourth catch already, and already has the two touchdowns as well.
Here comes the 2nd and 3 now from the Rock 46. And they dropped back to let this one go, and I think before that got going, it will bring us to the end of the quarter, actually. And it will bring us to the end of the first here. 14-3, the 17th ranked Slippery Rock in the lead on the road over the Cal U Vulcans. Second quarter coming up right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM WCAL.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
And welcome back here. The Slippery Rock Band making the trip down here to California, Pennsylvania.
I think it's the second band we've had here this season.
I couldn't tell you. More of a safe question than me.
I was looking at safe, and he's looking dumbfounded.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, it's not even a close drive, about a 2-hour drive from the Rock to get down here, but not usually see the bands travel too far that often. I know last week in our matchup against Seton Hill, California did bring the band out there. I mean, but that one way closer of a drive, just under 45 minutes. So
give or take.
So shout out to the Slippery Rock band for making the trip down here today. And all the Slippery Rock fans as well traveling down there. Their fans always great.
They
travel
love
well.
the Rock, man.
And there's no reason to not. They're fantastic. They're ranked 17th in the country.
They've got quite the following. Waiting for Grover to get going here from his own 46. And Dior bumped actually off the handoff and tried to move forward there. Bounced off a member of his own line and couldn't get moving.
Corboy on the stop.
It's Derek Corboy breaking through there to be lucky enough to take him down.
And Corboy, as we see here on the replay, just bull rushed his way in there. As we see, he looks like he ran into his own guard, or ran into the left guard, or excuse me, the right guard, or Nick Stars, or for the Rock.
Four-wide look here in the 3rd and 7. Switching it to 5, pump fake there. Grover has to take off up the middle. Gains a few, but 4th down on the way.
Yeah, great coverage by the Vulcans. Try to find Dior on that screen out of the backfield, but Vulcans covering it very well, forces Grover to scramble, and they're able to track him down very well, force the 4th down.
Still a very manageable deficit here early. Just a few minutes into the 2nd quarter of this one, the last PSAC game to kick off on this Saturday afternoon. Almost Saturday evening here. Low snap, punt up and away again. And fair caught at the 15. Rock bringing some pressure there, actually, and I thought you might see a little more extracurricular on the way through, but
I agree with you on that one. And both teams have been a little chippy this season, especially when the Rock got together with IUP. They were real chippy in that one.
And while we have a second, we do have some first quarter stats, and I think the biggest one that pops off the page for me is the offensive yardage. California, 18 plays for a net yardage of 24 so far. Not a great start, and compared to Slippery Rock, 16 plays on offense for them for 146.
Here are the Vulcans taking over from their own 15. Noah Mitchell and company held in check so far, looking to break through here. Another handoff, slashing up the middle towards the 20.
Williams, the ball carrier.
It looks like we got a shaken up member of the Vulcans here. Really might think that some cramping might be coming into play here, like we said earlier, just with this weather.
Yeah, we saw that a lot earlier on in the season, especially that trip to Kutztown, Alan. I couldn't tell you how many times Safe and I were calling for a player.
Were you cramping up too?
Yeah.
I mean, we were jammed pretty tight in that press box. It was hot, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a couple hamstrings pulled here and there and there.
Always said broadcasting was a contact sport.
Yeah, it was tight quarters there in Kutztown, but
here we get the beautiful outdoors as it looks like the injured Vulcan will make his way to his feet. Number 79, Noel Browse, able to walk off the field on his own accords. Hopefully everything's all right with him.
And here come the Vulcans after that. Took a quick moment to really chat it over. (13-14) and running here in the 2nd quarter of this one. 14-3. The Rock with the lead. It's a 2nd and 5 from the Vulcan 20. Might see the Rock cheat and bring some pressure here. Expecting the handoff, and that is another handoff again.
Williams again, the ball carrier.
It's Williams on the carry for the Vulcans. Almost caught me saying Bobcats there.
I mean, I said IUP earlier, and neither one of the, or that team is neither one of the two on the field today.
I mean, you were right if we were at volleyball all safe.
Oh, I had to come up here and help set up for the game today. As
right and early at noon.
Like you talked about, the Vulcan volleyball team faced off against the Crimson Hawks. Crimson Hawks able to get the win in that one, 3-0. But
yeah, jam-packed Saturday here. 2 soccers, a volleyball, some football on campus.
Cross-country swimming too.
Lots of stuff, man. There's the 3rd and 1, another handoff looking to cut through the middle, and I don't think they're going to get that one.
McCann, the ball carrier.
McCann chopped down short, so a 4th and 1 on the way.
And that's been the thing here. The Vulcans 52% on the season, and coming into today with the 3rd down conversions, 1 for 6 now, 1 for 7 on 3rd down. Something we haven't seen yet this year with the Vulcans was going for it on 4th down with a fake punt. It's not that far to go. Would you risk it, or are you going and just kick it away?
Listen, I've seen 2 onside kicks to start out 2 second halves in the past month so far here, so that would be another one on the bingo card as the punt is shot towards the 45 on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, it looks.
And you know what, sometimes you just have to roll the dice. I know we saw it earlier on in the season against Edinburgh where they were able to get a touchdown and were able to recover an onside kick immediately after. So you can never rule anything out.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise onside the way they did that one. They pooch kicked it, it landed right around on the opposing 40.
I mean, it was a surprise. You never really expect an onside.
And I mean, I hate to be
10
cliche.
minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, but I hate to be cliche, but when it comes to a matchup between these two, you really kind of have to throw a regular game script out of the window. You never know when these two get together what you're going to see. Toss onto the outside. That one's complete. And scampering through, able to pop in. Didn't think they would get anything out of that, but lucky enough for Russell to break through.
Yeah, I thought we might see a block in the back call. As we look at the replay here, you see on the far side that 8 block there front slippery rock, but no flags, and it looks like they got about 4 or 5 out of that one.
2nd down and 7 now. The Rock just into Vulcan territory at the 49. Checkdown's complete on the motion, taking a stumble. And rolling forward with that one, but a good gainer there on 2nd down.
A great reception there by Slip Rock, able to get themselves some yards to make this 3rd down a little bit more comfortable. But like you talked about a little bit earlier, Colin, when these two teams face off, it's never a regular game, and each team going to pull out every single stop they have.
Grover, a bit of a high snap. He'll throw this one. Had one-on-one coverage on the near side. Bodied the whole way through. It couldn't go back to Sheets that time, so 4th down on the way.
Yeah, the Vulcans threw everything but the kitchen sink at him on that one. And as Matt Toby, I think, was right in Grover's face. Oh,
It'll be a 4th and 5 now.
Big stop for the Vulcans. They needed to get the Rock offense off the field, but once they get the ball back, they haven't had great field position at all to start this game, really.
They need a good return here.
And here it is, end over end. This one spins around the 10, and that'll be another fair catch here. So we'll wait for the Vulcans to take over on offense. 10:45 for them to work with here as they start this drive out. First half moving quickly here. Keep it on the ground.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Quick game means we're out of here pretty early. Get a nice relaxing evening, but that's not good for good football, you know. You want a nice close game, and California has the chance to do that here if they're able to drive themselves down the field.
And they'll have a chance to get started here. They'll employ a 3-wide look here. 2 on that far side. Check that. We've got some motion on the far side, but no, they'll stay that way. Stacked up. Quick dump down. Great chance to have that one picked off there, but able to get the completion for about 3 to 4.
And that's the thing with Jaquay Jackson. And just when you think the ball's going to be intercepted, he's just stole it away from on the defender on that one. And he's done that a few times this year.
It was Josh Stokes almost jumping that one there, number 22. So a 2nd down and 6 coming up here. Vulcans on their own 15. Near side handoff. Trudging forward again. Across the 20. Short by about a yard.
And we've seen the Vulcans get into 2 or 3 of these 3rd and 1s, 3rd and very shorts already, and they haven't been able to convert. And the play every single time has been the handoff, and Slippery Rock doing a great job at filling up the gaps and not letting California break through. So maybe you'll see a little bit of a switch up this time, already in the shotgun.
3rd and 1. Sitting at their own 20. Mitchell on 3 wide. All 3 on the far side. And they'll keep it on the ground.
You don't think he got it again?
I don't think he got there either.
Williams again, the ball carrier. Loss on the play.
It was Devontae Williams again taking that handoff.
4th down and 2.
You take a look at the replay once again on your screen. They changed from going under center to that shotgun set to try to potentially spread out the offense, or spread out the defense a little bit, excuse me. But once again, great push by that Slippery Rock front 7, able to plug up all the gaps, able to get themselves into the backfield, and once again forces another 4th down.
You can really feel the crowd sitting on their hands here, waiting for something to cheer about. Only 3 points on the board to date. Another punt away. This one might be returnable, and it will be. Dancing through here, looking for a way to cut back, and rolling up to the 45.
Russell with the return.
It was Russell again, in short field here for the Rock to take over.
1st and 10 from the 45.
And we've already seen the Vulcans defense escape in a couple of these situations, but they need to be able to stand tall here, need to be able to not let the Rock get any more points on the board on this drive, because Slippery Rock will get the ball back to start the 2nd half. And so if California can get a stop here, drive down, get some points at the end of the half, the game won't seem as far out of reach as it probably could be if Slippery Rock able to score a touchdown here.
And Grover and company all set to go once again here. 8:25 left in the 2nd quarter. It's a 14-3 lead for the Rock as they look to add more. Right down the middle of the field, and that was wide open there. No one's going to catch up to that. Touchdown for the Rock on the first play.
Touchdown, Slippery Rock.
Majeski on that one, on the catch.
And I mean, just as I said, I think I may have jinxed it a little bit. Great route as we take a look at the replay here. Grover able to, nice clean pocket, steps up and has his man wide open over the middle of the field for the touchdown.
That actually might have been Bryce Profit, number 86. It was tough to tell on that. I want to misidentify there.
I think it was number 87. The Majeski.
That 6 and that 7, man, I'll tell you what.
They blend.
Especially in the white with the sun shining on it too.
To attempt the extra point.
Waiting for the extra point now. And that kick is up. And that kick is good. So 21-3. The Rock all over Cal U on the road here. 8:17 left to go in the 2nd quarter of this one. Stay tuned for more football right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM WCAL.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back here. The Rock getting ready to kick away again here, piling things up 21-3.
And so far this game very reminiscent of the game last year when California and Slippery Rock played. California coming into that game undefeated in conference play, and Slippery Rock just kind of wiped the floor with them. But California still has plenty of time to come back.
Getting to the 20 there on that return.
Hamlin with the return.
It's Hamlin out there getting that one forward, and we'll see if this offense can finally shift into gear here.
First and 10 Vulcans from the 21.
There's that touchdown pass across the middle there again, just able to pick apart that coverage and streak their way into the end zone.
Yeah, the last game the Vulcans had this season that was very similar to this was that game against Kutztown, or not, it's Kutztown against Shepherd in Shepherdsville, where California was down very early, but able to drive themselves down, come back, score well over 20 unanswered points, but they unfortunately did fall. I mean, very similar situation in this game.
Mitchell to throw again. Pocket collapses, tried for a check down, bobbled and incomplete. Looking for McCann on the check down. Scratch that, Williams.
Second down.
You also talk about, trailing early, say, let's not forget about what happened when we went to Shepherd.
Waiting for the 2nd and 10. Sitting in the 4-wide look here, Mitchell to throw, looking towards the near side, and almost picked in the hands, but dropped, and a flag at the end.
But hold your cars. We got a flag on the play.
I think this one
Jacob Williams had it in his hands there, hit him right in the chest and couldn't squeeze it.
And I think that's who the penalty might be on as well. As he jumped the route, and there was a little shove there.
That's right. So there's a bit of a jolt there to get things moving downfield.
And the Vulcans catch a huge break. Like you said, almost intercepted, and not something that we see from Mitchell too much of these lazy throws. But I mean, you're trying to find Jaquay Jackson, trying to get him into the game, but Slippery Rock so far.
They're covering up the playmakers.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job at keeping these receivers in check. Into the first quarter, Noah Mitchell's only 3 for 8 for 12 yards through the air, and hasn't added that many more here in this quarter.
Not sure what we're waiting on here. Oh, they moved it up a bit too far there. Had it set at the 35, and they'll bring it back towards the 30. With 8:01 remaining here in the first half to work with.
And maybe a penalty like that will be able to spark this Vulcans offense to get a little bit of momentum going.
Handoff on the outside for Williams. And nowhere to go for Williams as he's dropped for a loss. Just all over the game plan here so far. Definitely in need of some second half adjustments.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get anything going on offense. We've seen Williams break off a couple good runs, but that time got flipped up head over heels when he was trying to make his way through the line. But like we talked about, Slippery Rock coming into this game only gives up an average of 13 points a game, and for good reason. This front seven in particular has been lights out so far.
Second down and 11 now for the Vulcans from their own 29. Mitchell back to throw again with this one, standing in. He's got a cannon, letting this one fly. Might have a chance for a big play, and he's got it around the 25.
Great 8 look there by Noah Mitchell on that one, finding in Jaquay Jackson in one-on-one, and as we see here on the replay, Mitchell showing off the guns there as he lets that one fly downfield with the long bomb to Jackson. And the Vulcans now getting into the red zone.
You can only keep them quiet for so long.
That might help things out here. The big play to Jackson. Still plenty of time to work with here.
Pretty sure the Vulcans doubled their offensive yardage in one play right there.
Back to Williams on the ground, and that going nowhere again.
Williams, the ball carrier. A Nettie Wu run a spot. Loss of 3, 2nd and 13.
And that's one thing that Peyton warned me about out of this week coming into getting Slippery Rock. He said had those front end 6 for Slippery Rock. You see why they're one of the better run stoppers.
They really know how to get it done, but a 2nd and 12 coming up here from the Rock 27. Mitchell rolling out, standing in. Back to Williams. Williams all alone on the play fake. Williams slipping through, and he's down around the 10.
Williams with the reception.
A little too much momentum there from Williams. You know, it was his top half was stopping to try to make a juke move, but his feet kept going down on the field. But it's going to be another first down for the Vulcans, 1st and goal.
From the 9.
9 yards to go here. Williams again, flag does fly. Might see this march on backwards here on a hold.
Actually, I believe it was a great awareness by Noah Mitchell. Saw a player for Slippery Rock going off on the far side, but they didn't get off before Mitchell called the play before the player was able to get off. So I think this one may be going against Slippery Rock.
It would be welcomed help here. We'll see. Looks like some offsides here on the Rock.
Good eye there, safe. I thought that's what they were going to throw the flag for.
Cottrell Hatchett, number 97, on the offsides.
Because I saw the player running onto the field, and you just saw Mitchell glance over to the left, saw the guy slowly jogging his way off the field. So great awareness by Mitchell. And
football IQ for him is off the charts, I'll tell you what. But 5 to go here on this first and goal. About 5:40 left before the halftime mark. Vulcans looking to punch into the end zone for the first time here. Handoff, Williams. Williams tumbles through into the end zone. Touchdown, Vulcans.
Great 8th run there for the Vulcans. And as one of the former linemen myself, that we see the line split and the Red Sea parted for Williams as he has a perfect lane. And I think only one person might have got a hand on him, but it wasn't going to be enough to stop Williams as he was running straight downhill.
Chance to bring it close here. Break into double digits before the end of the first half. Hold is down, kick is up. And that one is good. So the Vulcans getting on the board here. First touchdown of this one. Still trailing 21-10. 5:36 left to go in the second quarter of this one. Stay tuned for more football right here on CUTV 91.9 FM WCAL.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Much needed touchdown there for the Vulcan offense, getting ready to kick this one back.
You're absolutely right on that. The offense hasn't been able to get anything going, but big plays sparked some inspiration. Big play to Jaquade Jackson led to that touchdown, and with that fair catch called on the return back.
But Johnny, much needed touchdown drive.
Yeah, you definitely needed something there. As we start with what set up this drive for the touchdown on the 46-yard bomb to Jackson, and on the one-on-one coverage down the sideline, and right here with the touchdown. I mean, perfect protection from the offensive line. Williams up the middle, for 3 yards out, and puts up 6.
And I just wanted to take a little look at my notes before that. Coming into this game, we talked about how this run defense for Slippery Rock has been great. They only give up 67 yards on the ground per game, so we've already seen why they've been so great today.
Grover back to it. Dior with the handoff. And Dior smoked on the 20, but another flag on the field here.
Flag on the play.
That's a hold on the rock. It's Max Majeski, the tight end, 87.
I do want to say that the referee that did throw that flag, I don't think I've ever seen.
Well, he launched it,
cannon.
huh? Yeah.
That was he threw that thing 20 yards, and I mean that was like, it looked like Noah Mitchell throwing that pass to Jaquay Jackson.
I was gonna say, hey, I haven't seen that guy had to play a quarterback when he was in high school.
Maybe some baseball?
Maybe a little bit. Center field, pitcher.
Set up here once again. First and 20 now. Onto the outside. Check down is complete. Spinning off one. Taken off towards the 20, 25, 30. And finally pushed out of bounds after that was Russell.
With the reception. Taken down by Mormon.
So who would have thought that the holding penalty would actually end up helping Slippery Rock, because they lost a couple on the original play and now get themselves a decent chunk of that yardage back on the replay.
Second down and 6 after that from their own 30. Grover with everyone spread out here. 4 wide for him, standing in across the middle. Bouncer having a chance to get that one, and they'll bring down the interception. Vulcans able to take advantage of that. Jacob Siegel, that one bouncing up in the air. 2 members of Cal U colliding on that one, just fighting to hold on to it.
Hey, whatever works as we look at the replay here, or as we see Grover letting it fly there from the Vulcan and just into that tight window.
Look at that, they were fighting their own team for that.
hey, but either way, the Vulcans are coming back with the football.
Yeah, I don't think it'll carry to them either way, but great job by that Vulcan secondary. I mean, it was an error by Slippery Rock. The receiver should have been able to pull that one in, just kind of clamped off his hands a little bit too early. And California with a huge break, able to get the touchdown in the last drive, gets the ball in good field positions. A great way to turn the tides here in this game.
Mitchell back to it on the first and 10. Slant across the middle. That one's incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Looking for Donovan Greer, number 80.
Here's the intended receiver. Second down.
So second and 10 now, about 5 minutes left before the half. Another touchdown really eats into that Rock lead heading into the locker room.
Yeah, you put up another 6 points on this drive, and momentum starts swinging your way. You go to the locker room. Hopefully you can come back out, give Slippery Rock the ball, and just go for a 3 and out on that drive.
Mitchell again, low snap, had to dig that one out. Now he has to take off to throw this one. Tried to come back and lay out for it. Couldn't get to it, incomplete. It was Jackson again on the reception try.
We've seen Jackson make that play a couple of times this year. It wouldn't have been surprising to see him pulling the basket catch while falling to the ground there.
Now a 3rd and 10 from the Rock 39. And Williams gets this one on the ground on the 3rd down handoff, and he stopped right at the line. No, they'll actually drop it for a loss.
Yeah, something we've seen a couple times from them throughout the year, going for these draws on these 3rd and longs and just trying to catch the defense out, but Slippery Rock well aware of that one and able to force them back. And California had a golden opportunity, but doesn't look like anything's really going to come up of it.
Might not be able to take advantage here after that, and they should be punting this one away.
And this is the things that Safe and I have talked about all season, and the Vulcans were gifted a golden opportunity and just couldn't capitalize.
Kick onto the outside, and that one out near the 15, and the Twitter really starting to flood through. A lot of people tweeting where they're at. I'm seeing a lot of people out in the parking lot enjoying the game so far. I see Stephanie Rubel out in the parking lot. Clinton Logan out there in the parking lot as well, having some fun. Looks like Gloria out in the parking lot as well, having some great times out there.
Just want to say thank you all for tuning into the broadcast today. It means a whole lot to all of us, and just want to say a quick thank you to you, Colin Kirkwood, for coming back and joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Anytime we get to do a game with you, Colin's always a treat.
Yeah, Johnny and I get pretty lonely up here, so it's nice to have
a long season.
Too many games, too many long road trips with each other. You know, it's always nice to have someone else here.
The Rock back to it here. Back to throw. It's Grover. Grover, long throw, trying to go across the middle again, and that's been open all game for them. Just a bit too far, though.
Tender for Russell.
You saw Russell there showing his displeasure with the referee. Kind of thought that he was held on his while he was trying to break that route deep on that post, but no call was made, and California secondary holding up just long enough to force that incompletion.
.358 remaining here in the first half. Back to throw again. The outside, that one is complete. Might be enough for 5 there, so a third and manageable on the way.
Majeski with the reception. In a 5, it's third down.
3rd and 5 coming up here. Dropping back to throw. Sheets across the 30, and that should be enough for first down yardage.
I think that one might have got tipped by one of the Miller brothers.
First down.
There's look back here at the replay.
1st and 10 from the 31.
Yeah, it looks like Gabe Miller might have got a little bit of that one, but not enough to deflect it away.
Yeah, great job by Sheets coming back to adjust to that kind of wobbly ball thrown by Grover.
Grover to throw again. Steps up in the pocket. He's rolling away with it. And throwing that one away. Looking towards the far side, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, definitely had to get rid of that one. Had Noah Dilla along with Gerald Brown coming after him.
2nd down.
And that incompletion stops the clock with 3:11 left to play here in the second quarter. Slippery Rock still with 2 timeouts, still plenty of time. But California need to be able to get themselves off the field.
Back to throw again. And had a chance to jump in the front of that one. Falling incomplete, however. Lucky break for the Rock.
And once again, Noah Hamlet and diving for the ball. John and I talked about this last week. There's 5 or 6 of those that he dove for in and out of his hands. But I guess that's why he's playing defensive back and not wide receiver.
And you take a look at the replay. Great job by Hamlin, though. It looks like he tripped on that on the collision of those routes a little bit, but a great job at getting himself back into the play. Great effort to jump back, break it up, and almost pick that one off.
Here's the 3rd and 10. Grover on the check down. That's complete. And nowhere really to go on that one. Noah Dillo closing in there to help out on the drop.
And that was a huge 3rd down play by the Vulcans. You take a look at the replay, faked that outside screen and went for the little screen inside, but Noah Dillo able to read that one all the way, bring him down well short of the first down marker. But that'll give the Vulcans back the ball with well over 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and give themselves another chance to score right before halftime.
The Rock in no hurry here. They'll let this clock run as far as they can. Only 5 on the play clock here. Ooh, botch snap, having to pick this one up and just tossing it forward here. This might actually work out. And so close to that line, and that might be one of the clunkiest, wonkiest plays I've ever seen to work out for a first down.
And both sides point in different direction. And so
there is no way. That was unbelievable.
Oh my, they just by the nose of the football.
And look at this replay here. There's a lot of confusion in this. Of course, it was low. It skipped off the turf, picking this one up, and not even like a regular heave, more of like a side toss, chucking the pumpkin at the county fair kind of throw there to get this one going. And look at that.
Yeah, well, huge shout out to the punter, Kyle Butts, with the heads-up play there. I mean, it was a low snap, and he did a great job at recovering it and getting that throw off. Like you said, it was kind of just like a heave, similar to a shot put throw.
Yeah, that one going for 8 yards is what they're going to mark that one on the stat sheet here.
Unbelievable. Put that one on the Sports Center top 10.
Not top 10, but kind of top 10, you know, a little bit of both. So another 1st and 10 for the Rock as Grover leans into this one all across the middle of the field, and there's no one going to catch up to this one. Touchdown again for the Rock. Max Majeski continuing to give plenty of matchup problems for this Cal U defense. The Ringgold product scores again.
And it's so hard to cover him because, like you said, he's an absolute behemoth out there. You can't keep a linebacker on him.
6'4", 235, but I'll tell you, he looks bigger than that.
I mean, absolutely. And you can't keep a corner on him because they're not tall enough to keep up with him. And you can't keep a bigger linebacker on him because they're not fast enough to keep up with him. So, like you said, matchup nightmare. And Kyle Butts coming up big, gets Slippery Rock the 1st down and leads to another score.
Here's the extra point. And they've got it. So 28-10, the Rock in the lead here on the road. 2:05 left in the 1st half of this one. More football coming up on CUTV and 91.9 FM, WCAL.
Survive the clowns in Twisted Nightmare 3D. Experience more scares than ever before. Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park returns September 9th. Get your tickets now at hauntedhillsestate.com.
Not much time left here in the 1st half between these two. And Cal U desperately in need of a score, but not much time to do it. And this one sails into the end zone here. Johnny, not a lot of time to work with here, about 2:05, but look at this play again.
Yeah, as Butts coming up here with a bit of a cluster you-know-what play. It should have been and gone for a loss and turnover on downs. It turns into an 8-yard gain for the Rock, just enough for the 1st down. And you see Grover just heaving it downfield. Oh, and what can you say about the secondary or these skills players of the Rock? I mean, they've been tough to cover, or that middle of the field's been wide open all game.
And who says kickers and punters aren't athletes, you know?
Bingo. Well, here it is once again, 1st and 10 from their own 25 as Mitchell just looking for something here. He's got Jackson across the 30. And there is a flag out there around the 40.
And seeing the signal from the referee coming up, making his way up the field, looks like this one may go against the Rock.
Defensive holding here. Josh Stokes, number 22, on the defensive hold. So another 1st down here.
Right now, I think the Vulcans will take a 1st down any way they can.
I'm sure they don't mind as long as they're able to get some points on the board before the end of the half. I'm sure they won't. They don't really care how they get the 1st down.
7, 6, 3, anything here that you can get. Time continues to wind here, about 1:35 left as Mitchell dropping back on the 1st and 10. Here he goes, teeing this one up for the long ranger, and that one's going to fall incomplete on the far side.
Heading for Langley.
Yeah, I was looking for Langley down on the seam route, and he had him on the one-on-one, but it just overshot it a little bit.
Second down.
Just a little bit unfortunate there, because usually Noah Mitchell's extremely accurate on those throws, but like you said, just overthrew him just a little bit on that one.
2nd and 10 now, still sitting at the Vulcan 35. 4 wide setup here. Mitchell looking to the far side. That is complete. It's Tarrant. Tarrant's got enough for a first, and he's out around the 50. So, Johnny, you talked a little bit about it, but that 2-minute offense, you might see it make its way onto the field here.
Yeah, and this is probably what we're going to see now. Mitchell is already calling it, and he's in the hurry up already. I think this is where the Vulcans actually do better is with the 2-minute drill.
Not as much time to really think about what you're going for, just working off instinct.
That 2-minute drill is more of just like a flow state. Dude,
yeah.
Can't overthink it. You just got to try to get everything out super quick.
Here they go again. And Mitchell flushed out of the pocket. He'll take off and run with this one. Scampering forward, and he'll just duck out of bounds there.
Quarterback keeper by
Might have got about 3 there on that. Didn't look like it was going to be a whole lot, but they'll take it.
And look at the replay here. We see the pressure coming quickly there, and they're going to give him a gracious 4 yards on that one. And as Mitchell just rolled out near side and took off after that.
And he did the smart thing, because he could have cut it up the field and picked up a couple more, but that would have wasted a lot more time on the clock. It was able to get his way out of bounds and stop it with 1:18 left.
2nd down and 6. Sitting at the Rock 46-yard line. Mitchell back to throw again, standing in, pocket, holding well, and had to really go down to the knees to get a hold of that one, but it is a reception. Now count it nonetheless.
Langley with the reception. 3rd down.
That was Malik Langley, number 6, wrangling that one in.
That'll be his first catch of the day there.
Under a minute left here, only 1 timeout for Cal U. Talked about how that might come back to haunt them here after burning 2 early in the first. Mitchell again on the check down. That one's complete. Tarrant. He's out of bounds around the 35. Should be first down yardage again.
And we see the Vulcans doing a great job as we take a look at the replay here once again. Just this dink and dunk offense in the 2-minute drill, everything outside, just trying to get some decent yardage and get out of bounds, and able to find Tarrant for the 2nd time this drive already.
Clock stopped at 48 seconds, and Mitchell back to it again. Plenty of time. Check down again for Williams. Here's Williams. Chopped down at the 30. And they might burn that final timeout. And that will be the final timeout here with 41.9 seconds left, John.
Yeah, and we've talked about it since the first quarter, or burning those 2 timeouts quickly. I'd feel better with the Vulcans with 41.9 to go. Here in the first half, if they had more than just that 1 timeout. Hopefully the Vulcans can get something going here. And if they go to clock it, we don't have a replay of what happened against IUP.
Never want that one to come back again, but like you said, 41.9 seconds left. Only need a couple more yards to get inside the range of Beatco. So if California's offense is able to pick up some decent yardage here on this play, maybe stop the clock and continue, even if they don't get the first down, they should be able to maybe at least get 3 on the board with Beatco.
Getting ready for the homecoming festivities at halftime. The Vulcan band and the homecoming court down there. Just a great afternoon here on the campus of Cal U. Second down and 5 now. Mitchell from the Rock 30. Looking to the far side, that is complete. Tarrant looking for the first, he's got it.
Great tackle though by Slippery Rock, able to pull down Tarrant inbound, so he wasn't able to get over there to stop the clock.
1st and 10 from the 23.
30 seconds left, and it looks like they'll quickly spike this one to save some time here.
And we've seen Mitchell go to Tarrant a lot on this drive. Haven't seen so much of Jackson, but you see Jackson on the bottom of your screen now. Potentially in this one-on-one matchup, we can see Mitchell try to abuse that once again.
And say, hey, it looks like they got the 4 receiver set over here. Or you got Willis down here with Jackson. Don't be surprised if he's open on the near side.
Yeah, clustered up here. 2nd and 10 now from the Rock 24 from Mitchell. Mitchell towards the middle, and it's picked off. Hop, step, and a jump, and just falling on this one, and that'll shut down the 2-minute drive there. Do have a flag on the field, but Jacob Williams running away with the football there. And it's holding on Cal U, so that's declined, and the Rocks got the ball back going into halftime here.
I mean, exactly what you didn't need. If you were the Vulcans well within inside of Bika's range, could have been able to get some points on the board, but Mitchell just trying to fit that one in.
That middle of the field has been crowded all afternoon for both sides on offense.
Yeah, the linebackers for Slippery Rock doing a great job at coming back in coverage and making what seems like a one-on-one into a double-team tight coverage, and that time Mitchell just not able to squeeze it in, and Slippery Rock able to win on the tip drill, and Williams able to pick that one off.
Looks like Slippery Rock's just going to take the knee and go to the locker room here.
It's a smart choice. And there is the kneel. And that should bring us to the end of the first half here as those final few moments. But 28-10, Cal U heading into the locker room behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, it's good. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle today, but go to the locker room, come up with a new plan and of attack here in the second half. So hopefully the Vulcans can figure it out, this Rock defense, and a way to shut down that offense.
Sape, any final thoughts on the first half here?
Just the Vulcans, we've definitely seen them play a lot better than they have today, and there is still plenty of time to improve. Still have half an hour, 2 quarters left to go, and I'm sure Coach Dunn and the rest of the coaching staff will have a great halftime talk, and the Vulcans are no strangers of coming out strong in the second half.
We'll be back here for the second half, but until then, 28-10, Slippery Rock in the lead over Cal U. Stay tuned. We'll be back for the second half of football right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM WCAL.
Vulcan football is back this fall. September 1st versus Fairmont State. September 10th at Kutztown. September 17th at Shepherd. September 24th versus Edinburgh. October 1st at Clarion. October 8th versus IUP. October 15th at Seton Hill. October 22nd versus Slippery Rock. October 29th at Mercyhurst. November 5th versus Gannon. November 12th versus East Stroudsburg. All games live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob Burlick, and I am the percussion technician for the marching band. It is my pleasure to be your host today. On behalf of the students, the faculty, and the staff, and administration of Penn West California University, I welcome you to Homecoming 2022. I hope this homecoming will bring back fond memories for you and our many students, guests, friends, and dignitaries here with us today. As part of the celebration, California students have been campaigning for the title of Homecoming King and Queen. Many thanks to all of our Homecoming Court candidates this year. I will now announce the Homecoming Court. Naomi Terrell, senior, theater major from Pittsburgh, PA. Naomi is sponsored by Alpha Psi Omega, University Players, Black Student Union, and Men's United. Escorted by Noah Kendall, senior, pre-K4 education major, musical theater performance minor from Pittsburgh, PA. Noah is sponsored by University Players, Rainbow Alliance, Alpha Psi Omega, SPSEA. Lexi Vaughn, senior psychology major from Phillipsburg, PA. Lexi is sponsored by Sigma Kappa, Theta Xi, Cheerleading, ASL Club, NSSHLA Club, Vulcan Baseball Club, men's rugby, women's basketball, and football, escorted by Christopher Santilli Jr., senior secondary education major with a focus in English from Bridgeville, PA. Chris is sponsored by Sigma Tau Gamma Fraternity, Alpha Sigma Alpha Sorority, Phi Sigma Sigma, Center for Career and Professional Development. Haley Lucas, senior athletic training major from Lockport, New York. Haley is sponsored by Alpha Sigma Alpha, Acacia, football, women's volleyball, women's tennis, athletic training club, track and field teams. Escorted by Wade Wolfgang, senior chemistry major with a minor in environmental science from Mount Wolf, PA. Wade is sponsored by Acacia Fraternity, women's volleyball, Delta Zeta, club baseball, Alpha Sigma Alpha, chemistry club, and Phi Sigma Sigma. Lena Wankel, junior marketing major with a minor in event planning and management from Bradford, PA. Lena is sponsored by Alpha Sigma Tau, The Underground, and Phi Gamma Delta. Escorted by Patrick Rogers, senior political science major with a minor in accounting from Bogota, New Jersey. Pat is sponsored by Phi Gamma Delta, The Underground, Club Soccer, and Alpha Sigma Tau. Erica Vogel, senior early childhood education pre-K through 4 major from Cleveland, PA. Erica is sponsored by Delta Zeta Sorority, Alpha Kappa Lambda Fraternity, Student Pennsylvania State Education Association. Escorted by Neat Fan, senior secondary education math major from Chambersburg, PA. Neat is sponsored by Student Government Association, co-ed volleyball, university housing. Joining Dr. Dale on the field is Student Government President Derek Harshberger, along with the 2021 Homecoming Queen Christina Hepta and the 2022 Homecoming King Zach Schneider. And now, please help me in congratulations to this year's Homecoming Queen. Homecoming King, rather, Wade Wolfgang. And now, please welcome the 2022 Penn West California Homecoming Queen, Haley Lucas. Congratulations to the King and Queen.
Not for you, but thank you.
One more time for our King and Queen, Wade Wolfgang and Haley Lucas, everybody. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Penn West University of California and President Dr. Dale are proud to present the 2022 California Vulcan Marching Band. This year, the band would like to take you into Trip into Outer Space, featuring our rendition of the planets. Our 2022 film show, Cal U, The Final Frontier. Allison, Yelena, and Tristan, is your band ready?
It's on you. I would burn somebody's face. Because if I saw it, I would just start running.
action is here, and CUTV has you covered. From the season-opening Vulcan Invitational to an entire slate of PSAC West action, you won't miss one exciting dig, pass, or kill. All games will be live on PSAC Network, as well as CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube. For all things Vulcan athletics, check out calvulcans.com for schedules, stats, and more. With calvulcans.com and CUTV, you'll have the best seat in the house.
This homecoming winners.
Welcome back here for the second half of this one. Slippery Rock 28, Cal U 10. Colin Kirkwood, Johnny Sakaguchi, and John Sape with you here for the second half of this one.
8, 7, as we look here at the second half of stats. So, a couple things. First of all, Colin, both teams on the first down on even at 8 apiece so far. Looking at it as well, the Vulcans lead the game so far in rushing attempts, 27 in versus the 15. Along with the passing yards going in favor of the Rock with 273 to 119. Both teams even in turnovers with 2 apiece. Penalty yardage, however, are favoring just Slippery Rock. The Vulcans, no penalties accepted against them versus the Slippery Rock 6 for 44 yards.
And I think one stat to look at as well, there's the time of possession. California, 18 minutes, 49 seconds possession in the first half compared to Slippery Rock's 11-11. And even with that, California is still only able to muster only 10 points on the board in that first half. And I think
They had their chances.
They have had their chances, but they just haven't been able to convert them. And like we talked about before the game, two teams that are very, very good on third down. California coming in this game, 51% conversion rate on third down. Slippery Rock at 50%. Both teams struggling with that. California 2 for 10 on the day, and Slippery Rock 2 for 7. But Slippery Rock does have the 2 for 2 on the fourth down plays as well.
Yeah, hopefully the Vulcans can find a way to stop this offense. They got to come up with some sort of big stop here in the second half.
And in the first half as well, Noah Grover, 14 for 20 for 265 yards, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. Kyle Sheets with a big game so far, 4 catches for 115
3 of those
yards.
Touchdowns, huge breakaway plays.
Yeah, I mean, they looked like pretty much the same play every time on those touchdowns, just that late looping route in the middle of the field, and just these fast, big, tall wide receivers just able to break away from their man, and once they're able to get in the open field, not anyone's catching them.
Cal U going to kick this one back to the Rock to start the second half here. And here it is. Brought in at the 10. Cutting it towards the outside. A lot of room to run here. And boy, this is going to start off with a thunderous return for the Rock here into Vulcan territory. And Beatco pushing out the return man.
Again, Beatco making a tackle. Oh, it's the second straight game that he's had a tackle in.
Yeah, but good for him, though, because if not, this could have ended up in the end zone for 6 as we take a look at the replay. Great blocking by the special teams of Slippery Rock, able to give the return man that nice lane on that right-hand side down the side of the field, and give Slippery Rock a fantastic field position to start this drive.
Short field for them to work with here. Here is Noah Grover and company back again. Back to throw, standing in, plenty of time to throw. Another break-off play and stumbling with it. First down around the 15.
A little miscommunication on the secondary, it looks like, by the Vulcans.
Bryce Profit, number 86, bringing that one in on the far side.
And another great throw by Grover, and like you said, Johnny, just a little bit of miscommunication. The corner and the linebacker switching on and off of the receivers, and one of them just didn't follow Profit, able to find the space and make the catch.
Rock in the red zone here. Quick check down. Looking to slip past the 15 and slung down, and that should be a horse collar, I think, or a face mask. Saw a hand up high there.
Yeah, as we see I'm counting 3-4 flags around the area of the tackle.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 29, activation to the goal.
And that is a face mask on the Vulcans here, so the Rock getting much closer here with that.
And that's been the thing that Safe and I have seen all season and this year is the Vulcans getting a stop, but shooting himself in the foot in the process. So whether it be something like that with a face mask or a holding call on defense.
First and goal from the 8 for the Rock. And Dior chopped down off the handoff.
Another great stop by California in the first half. Slippery Rock only managing to get 15 yards on the ground, and that's something that they're not used to getting. They average well over 100 yards, almost 200 yards a game on the ground, but this Vulcan front seven, front nine at times has done a great job at keeping Dior in check.
Grover again, second and goal from the 7. High snap here, well handled towards the end zone, one-on-one. Sheets diving back to make a play on it, and the flag flies.
Almost catching that way like George Pickens did against the Cleveland Browns a few weeks ago.
But we've got probably some DPI coming up here. Noah Hamlin getting the call there for the Vulcan defense, and the ball now placed at the 2.
Yeah, I mean, his hands were all over Sheets there, but Sheets almost did a great job at making that acrobatic catch on as he's being pulled down. But like Johnny said, these penalties coming back to bite the Vulcans, and Slippery Rock find themselves well within a range to get themselves on the board again.
Quick to the line here. Handoff up the middle. Right on the line, should be down at the 1.
Dior, the ball carrier.
Looks like Noah Dillo and company going to stand tall there at the goal line. And for the Vulcans,
Griffin and Miller on the stop. Into a yard. Second down and goal.
Second and goal now from the 1. On the move from the far side. Everyone packed in way tight here. Another handoff, slipping through Dior. He's into the end zone. Touchdown for the Rock.
I can't wait to take a look at the replay. What a move by Dior to get himself into the end zone. It looks like there will be an injured Vulcan down on the field, though, after that play.
Yeah, and here's the replay. As we see, it looks like a little counter play. Hey, Dior stutter steps there, or turned back the other direction, and getting the block from Grover there.
Yeah, there's nothing like your quarterback coming in, chipping in a block to help you get into the end zone.
Looks like that injury timeout just about done here.
That's Matt Toby, the injured Vulcan, walking off the field there under his own power. Nursing a little bit of a lower body injury because we didn't see him last week. So.
Ready for the extra point try now. Kicks up. And it's good. 35-10, Slippery Rock with the lead here. 13:02 left to go in the third quarter of this one. More homecoming football coming up on CUTV and 91.9 FM, WCAL.
Vulcan football is back this fall. September 1st versus Fairmont State. September 10th at Kutztown. September 17th at Shepherd. September 24th versus Edinburgh. October 1st at Clarion. October 8th versus IUP. October 15th at Seton Hill. October 22nd versus Slippery Rock. October 29th at Mercyhurst. November 5th versus Gannon. November 12th versus East Stroudsburg. All games live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
And the Vulcans about to get the ball back here with plenty of work to do, trailing 35-10. Here's the kick back into the end zone on the near side. A chance to return this one. Around the 15, on the 20, and down near the 25.
Like you talked about, California have plenty of work to do as we take a look at the replay of that kickoff return, but California need to do a better job on offense in the second half than they did in the first half. The only 119 yards on total offense in that first half, and like we talked about, they have the talent to be able to do way more than what they have, but it's just all about coming together and trying to pick apart this Slippery Rock defense, which has been outstanding here today.
Swarming the field, clogging passing lanes, forcing miscues. They have been well on their toes so far here. That one a bit low on the far side, incomplete from Mitchell.
Second down.
And that's a concept we've seen the Vulcans run quite a bit. Just keep getting the Jackson in motion and having Mitchell roll to his left, but like you said, that time a little bit off balance, just couldn't make the throw where he needed it to go.
Back again. Handoff up the middle. And there is a flag, so that might make its way backwards here after Williams popping through the hole. Fritz Kelly Edmond, the right tackle there, 57, guilty on the hold.
Unfortunate there, because that's what we've seen a lot from the Vulcans this year, like Johnny talked about, is every time they seem to be able to get themselves into a groove on offense, especially in games like this where they've really been struggling. It's just every time it gets called back or something happens, and it seems like once they're in that rut, once they have that wind out of their sails, it seems pretty hard to get it back in there.
Second down try coming up here. A lot of room to go forward with. Vulcans have been starting deep in their own territory many times throughout this one. Onto the outside, that is complete around the 15. It looks like they'll give about 2 yards there.
Langley with the reception.
It's Langley again.
And Langley had a couple more yards, but tried to come back, tried to make a move and make the defender miss, but ended up losing some of the yardage he gained on that progress. But brings up another third and extremely long for the Vulcans to convert.
3rd and 17 to be exact here from their own 18. Low snap again. Dropping back onto the outside, might have a home run chance here, brought in around the 50 and dragging it forward towards the 30 in opposite territory here. That's a Langley again.
Take a look at the replay here, Colin. Mitchell having just about all day to throw back there and firing off that cannon of an arm once again, and downfield finds Langley on the far side for about another 40-yard gain at least.
And we saw what happened the last time the Vulcans were able to get a big playoff like this and end up in 7 points. So the Vulcans, like we talked about to start, have a lot of ground to cover, and they need to be able to do so quickly here.
Now taking over from the Rock 35. Back to the ground with Williams. Here's Williams knifing his way through down towards the 25. Short by about 2.
Simple little draw play there by the Vulcans once again. And something my defensive line coach used to scream and to watch out for, pass screen draw.
Handoff again. Williams back to it. Williams should have first down yardage there off the 2nd and 3 carry.
Looks like same play again. And
yeah, why not?
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
And it seems like with the introduction of Williams in the backfield, it's just a nice change of pace compared to the other backs. Like McGriff and McCann, both strong backs, very powerful, but Williams super speedy, super nifty in the open field, and like we've seen a couple of times, able to break open a decent bit of gains on these runs.
Now from the Rock 24 on the 1st and 10 for Mitchell. Mitchell on the rollout, complete on the check down again, across the 20, going forward to 15 and pushed out near the 10. Tarrant able to scramble there off the reception.
Takes it to about the 12-yard line.
And this is where the Vulcans have struggled in the past, is when you have a receiver like Jackson, when there's so much attention focused to him, the other receivers need to step up. And so far this game, Tarrant has been the one to do so. Has found themselves in nice spots, nice positions to be able to make these catches and make plays after the catch. And once again, right there, able to get the first down.
First and 10 now from the Rock 12. Mitchell looking to throw for the end zone here. Back corner, toe tapper, and that's in for Jackson. Touchdown, Vulcans.
They're going to wave it off.
Ah, right on the line. Good eye, Johnny.
So close. They're going to say his other foot stepped out. Oh, here we look at the replay, Colin, and it doesn't get any closer than that. I mean, we're talking about Antonio Brown toe tapping here.
so close. I mean,
boy, that's tough to tell.
So close. It was.
And it sucks because it's not like we have a camera down on the field to tell from those kinds of replays, but so close for
Here's
Jackson.
Williams again on the ground here. Williams breaking a few. Williams down at the 5.
Williams, the ball carrier. Haynes on the
And once again, another great run by Williams. Like I said, I mean, I talk for a living, and it's very, very hard to do.
Timeout for an injured player.
Looks like another injury timeout here. So, Johnny, why don't we check on some of those scores? They should be all compiled here, as this was the last game to kick off. Everything should be wrapped up around the league.
So far, most of the scores have come in. East Stroudsburg holds on over Bloomsburg 27-21, and it's the only score I've seen updated so far. Checking in on Seton Hill and IUP real quick here, because this is going to start shaking up some of the standings here. If my laptop would work, that'd be great. Still over in the fourth quarter right now, Kutztown and Lock Haven, and the Golden Bears were running away with that one, 35-7 right now.
As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Vulcans to finish off the year next week, making a nice early trip up to Mercyhurst.
Hey, but it's the last one.
It is the last road trip. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the 6 a.m. Leaving time here, but it'll be all that well. But like you said, finishing off with 2 home games to finish off the season, hosting Gannon and then hosting East Stroudsburg, and then looking at Slippery Rock's remaining schedule. Next week is their last away game as well, facing off against Clarion before they host 2 games to end the season against Edinburgh and Kutztown.
Or if they find themselves in the PSAC championship game. And that last spot, you never know.
And I believe
still some work to be done.
I believe the West hosts this year, so even then I think that would be a home game for them as well.
On the roll, Mitchell looking for it, turning up. Touchdown Vulcans. Jaquay Jackson able to pull that one in.
And it's not a Vulcans game if Jaquay Jackson isn't getting himself on the scoreboard. And once again, we can take a look at the replay. Coming into this game, Jaquay Jackson had 10 total touchdowns on the season and just adds another one to the collection. We've seen this concept a couple times. Jackson in motion, going to either side, Mitchell rolling to the same side with him, and Jackson in plenty of room and able to get himself into the end zone for the touchdown, cuts the lead even closer now for the Vulcans.
It's a good way to get started here, but plenty of work to be done in the second half. Beatco on for the extra point here. Holds down, kick is up.
Kick is up.
And he's got it, so tack on one more here. 35-17, Slippery Rock in the lead. 9:33 left to go in the third quarter of this one. More football coming up right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM, WCAL.
Another season of volleyball action is here, and CUTV has you covered. From the season opening Vulcan Invitational to an entire slate of PSAC West action, you won't miss one exciting dig, pass, or kill. All games will be live on PSAC Network, as well as CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube. For all things Vulcan athletics, check out calvulcans.com for schedules, stats, and more. With CalVulcans.com and CUTV, you'll have the best seat in the house.
Welcome back here. Vulcans starting to put a dent into this large lead here, 35-17. Jaquay Jackson grabbing a touchdown. Still plenty of work to be done as the lights come on here at Adamson Stadium. Onside try here, perhaps. Trying to track this one down, but the rock falling on top of it.
I was wondering if the Vulcans were going to try something sneaky here, or to try to get back into the game here.
Might have put a bit too much on that kick.
A little bit, because you had a couple of the guys streaking downfield here, but let's take a look at that last drive of Jackson and getting the ball and just running it into the end zone for another touchdown for the Vulcans. And this game going final, calling that Kutztown game. The score I gave you before, or the break, 35-7 your final, and IUP defeats Seton Hill 44-7.
Back to it here for Grover and company again. Dior on the handoff. And here's Dior to the 40.
Dior, the ball carrier.
Great job by Dior there on that run to break the tackle. Or Wells, excuse me, on the carry there, but did a great job of breaking off the tackle. Toby got in the backfield in a hurry, but was able to break off that tackle and pick up a couple.
Another shout out to the CUTV alumni tailgate out there in the parking lot behind us here. They're having a lot of fun this afternoon. Special shout out to my friend K-Dog across the middle there. That one's incomplete.
Yeah, Grover had a couple old guys in his face, and the Vulcan secondary coming up big here.
And that middle of the field just been dangerous today.
It really has been on both sides.
Now you understand why so many teams, especially in the NFL, don't like to throw the ball in the middle of the field.
3rd and 6 now. Rock on their own 40. Bit of a broken play. Trying to dive out to get that one on the near side. That is incomplete, but we'll see how this flag ends up. Might be offsides on the defense, depending on who moved first.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
And that will be on the Vulcans here, so another lucky break for the Rock.
Third down.
They'll have a 3rd and 2 to work with now from their own 45. Waiting on it here, plenty of movement pre-snap. Grover rolls out to the far side. Had a lot of pressure on the way, and another flag down in the backfield here.
I think this one might be going against the offense this time.
Looks like they're going for a hold on the offense, so you might be right there, Johnny. Anthony Rebar, number 66, that right tackle.
4th down and 2.
That was a big drive from that Vulcans defense. They needed to get a stop because, like you said, they still have plenty of work to be done, and unless we see another crazy pass conversion on the 4th down punt, then
boy, I don't think we'll ever see that again.
No,
I really hope
that
not.
cluster duff of a play that we had there.
Low off the ground, might have had a chance to break through there, but able to get that one off. And fair caught around the 25.
Fair catch at the 25-yard line.
And I think this may be some of the best field position the Vulcans have had all game to start one of their drives.
Announcing some of our homecoming parade float awards.
Looks like they're going to start giving out some homecoming parade awards here.
Award. That award goes to Theta Xi and Gamma Sigma Sigma.
A lot of different stuff going on here.
float winner.
Didn't get to catch any of the halftime homecoming presentations. Don't know if you did.
I got to catch a little bit of it. Seeing, so we did get to hear the homecoming announcement, and so the winner. So if you missed that ad earlier, and you're watching here on CUTV, you can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel on CUTV Sports 1.
Good plug onto the outside. That went way too high there.
Pass is incomplete.
I think that was a good way of saying that he didn't quite none of us quite heard who won King and Queen. So
I was going to say all three of us were a little occupied at halftime. But as I was busy with Gary getting the halftime stats put in for the graphic, I did not get to hear who won.
It looks like after that play, there's an injured Vulcan down on the far side of the field. And when you take a look at your screen, it was the PSAC schedule from today. All of those games wrapped up besides this game right here.
And like you said, next week, back on the road for the last time at the Mercyhurst Lakers. It's been rather one-sided of a series for the past few years.
And this is most likely going to be my last road trip as a Vulcan, and as I'm probably going to be graduating this spring.
Well, what about basketball?
Keywords probably as well.
Well, I'm talking football-wise.
All right, well, you know what? That's fair. I'll give you that.
This is probably my last football all-road trip.
Probably.
Who knows? I might come back in the fall.
Hey, we believe in you.
Hey, you do you, man. It's the best thing you can do. And it looks like still shaking up here over on that far side.
I'm trying to see what number it is, but as the Vulcan coming up to his feet, it's Cam Tarrant coming off the field.
Yeah, it'd be a big blow for the Vulcans if Tarrant isn't able to come back into this game. Has been phenomenal so far in this one, but it looks like he is walking by himself off the field under his own accord, so hopefully everything is all right with him.
Looks like he'll be replaced by Jackson Daughtry on the slot now.
So 2nd and 10 now with 8:39 left in the third. 35-17, the Rock with the lead, but here's the Vulcans back on the ground. Tough hit there. Williams once again running this one forward. A lot of Williams here in the second half on the ground.
And it's just that running back trio, and Williams just seems to be the one that's been the most effective in this game. We saw a couple runs from McGriff, a couple runs from McCann, and they just didn't really seem to be going anywhere. But with Williams, like I said, change of pace compared to the other backs, and so far he's been able to get the most effectiveness against this great run defense of Slippery Rock.
Back to throw again on the 3rd and 3. Mitchell standing in for a while, and a bit of an ill-advised throw there. That one's picked off, looking to return this one across the 40. Still across 30, flags down. All the way back into the end zone, but Mitchell shaken up at the 30.
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back. I think that was a crackback on the play.
Subin Haynes, the Rock member, able to intercept that one and bring it back for 6. But like you said, flags thrown all over the field waiting to see the call.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on the receiving team. Number 52. 15 yards and a foul. First down, Slippery Rock.
So that's going to
Jeff Marks on the unnecessary roughness, 52, but Sevlin Haynes, number 4, the one trudging his way across the field after picking that one off, but Mitchell's going to be attended to here.
And right there's the hit, as we see here where Haynes is coming down. Mitchell was going for try to stop Haynes, and then just got cracked right over there on the far sideline.
That'll take the points off the board, but Slippery Rock will still have the ball and still have an opportunity to put this game to bed, I believe.
We're going to go ahead and step aside here while Mitchell is attended to. 7:47 left to go here in the third quarter of this one. 35-17, Rock on top. Stay tuned for more football right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM. Back up quicker here than we expected, but good to see Noah Mitchell making his way off the field, relatively under his own power here.
Yeah, scary moment there by for the Vulcans as Mitchell walks off the field here. But here's where I would use that as a momentum builder for the defense. It's time to play with that ticked off mentality. One of the Slippery Rock players took a shot at your quarterback. Now here's where you come back with an answer.
If the Rock finds a way to add more here, things become towards the realm, perhaps, of being a bit out of hand. Still plenty of time. I mean, only 7:47 left in the third, but still, it makes it an uphill battle, as it's been throughout the entirety of this one, pretty much.
Yeah, if the Vulcans can find a way to stop this Rock defense here and come back, hit the offense back out there for a score, I think the game could still be in hand and the win yet.
So here's Grover taking over on the Vulcan 43, has the one-on-one matchup with Sheets, and Sheets had it there the whole way down, and another flag on the field, and I think we might see more DPI on the Vulcans.
This one, and it's going to be close.
And we've seen Sheets time and time again get this one-on-one matchup. This time the Vulcans had Tyen Lobin guarding against Sheets, but Sheets so fast and so big that it's very hard to keep in front of him.
Defense, number 23, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Tyen Lobin, number 23, the guilty party there, Sape.
And like I said, it's just been so hard for this Vulcan secondary, and like I talked about earlier, that just comes with the defense that they like to play. A lot of man coverage and a lot of only one high safeties, so not a lot of safety coverage in the backside for these corners. So they need to be able to lock down one-on-one, but with a receiver like Sheets, it's very hard to do something like that.
Ready again here after the low snap, but standing in to throw and just hanging all over Sheets there, and that one's about as obvious as it gets.
And it seemed a little unnecessary, and you can see Lobin again trying to plead his case, but it looked like he was kind of falling to the ground, and as he was falling, he grabbed a hold of Sheets. But I mean, once you're grabbing onto the receiver, especially that far down the field, it's going to be a penalty every single time.
6'4", 215, the frame of Sheets.
15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
We've got another first down here after that.
Here's the other thing, is those two were fighting for position, and you got to wonder how much was it that Sheets knocked a little bit and off balance, and he was trying to regain it.
But nonetheless, that's two plays in a row where you're getting 30 yards on offense without having to, or with just two penalties. And Cal had no penalties in the first half for any yards, and now getting a lot here in the second half.
Rock into the red zone here on the check down, on the swing, and chopped down in single-digit territory here past that 5.
With the reception, stopped by Dillo.
So first and goal again here, Johnny.
And the Vulcans have to come up with an answer here of some sort. I know you're down big here, but you got to find a way to come back to answer now.
And we've seen them force plenty of turnovers before, especially in spots like this. And if there's any moment to get a turnover, then it has to be now.
They'll actually call this a 2nd and 1 from the 4. Grover again on the handoff, right along the goal line, and in there for a touchdown for the Rock.
And once again, the Rock just playing and hard-nosed football as they run right up the middle there.
And I think that was Chris Wells, number 0, bringing that one in, the St. Francis transfer.
Let me take a look at the replay once again. Like I said, it was Wells, and Slippery Rock getting a great push up front. Those 3 interior linemen in the center and the 2 guards getting off the ball super quickly, able to just push back that Vulcan front 7, and then Wells able to make his way into the end zone and send this lead even further.
Flag flies on the extra point here.
Kick is up and good.
It made its way through.
A lot of finger pointing out there.
Yeah, a lot.
That penalty is declined.
Penalties declined here. So that one will stand. Makes it 42-17, 6:45 left to go in the third quarter of this one. Stay tuned for more football right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM, WCAL.
Looking for a lawnmower.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Back here once again, 42-17. As the Rock is running it up here, trying to spoil homecoming. Kickoff brought in around the 5, cutting it up towards the 20, and that's about as far as they'll get with that.
Harper with the return.
Sape, another big explosive play there for the Rock. And get into the end zone.
And that's just what this offense has done the best so far this year, is just whenever they've been struggling, whenever they've been needing some sort of inspiration, they've been able to find these big plays. And I feel like the biggest part about that last drive was these penalties over and over again from California, getting Slippery Rock just, it's like spoon feeding them a trip into the red zone for the touchdown. But looks like Noah Mitchell will be coming back out for quarterback for the Vulcans after getting shaken up on that last drive.
So they'll take over from their own 22 this time around. And back to the ground again. Here's Williams. Williams scampering through. Williams across the 45 and down near midfield on that.
And that's been the longest run play since Jackson did the end around on run and earlier on. But take a look here. We look at the blocking scheme for the Vulcans. And it's the tight end motions over, and then the guard and tackle from the far side pull, and it's leading that whole start of the rushing attack. I mean, Williams had a perfect lane to run.
Ball marked at their own 48. Mitchell again on the ground to Williams. Here's Williams across midfield into Rock territory here.
Going back to that previous long rush, I think the best thing about that play was how well the lineman did to get to that second level, able to seal off those linebackers and allowing Williams all the space in the world to try to move forward and gain a nice positive yardage.
And they're going to mark that as the longest run of the day. 26 yards for William on that long run.
Back to it again. Set up 3 wide for the second down and 6. Back to throw, stepping up, dump off, that's complete again to Williams. Williams across the 40 for a first.
This is the kind of Vulcan football that we've seen working all year. They're just a little run, couple run plays, play action into the check down on 3-4 yards, and it's another first down.
And that's just what's been so frustrating about this game, is usually you see plays like this, you see the offense get moving like this, and you sit there and wonder why hasn't it been able to work all game. And better late than never, I guess, for California to get something going.
Williams again. Another handoff for him towards the 35 this time.
2 on the play. Marks on the stop. Second down and 8.
Second down and 8 coming up after this personnel swap here. About 4:50 left here in the third of this one. Slippery Rock ringing up 42 points so far in these first 3 quarters. Back to throw again. It's Mitchell on the check down. That is complete. Up through and towards that 30.
McGriff with the reception.
That's McGriff back there in the backfield making the reception.
knocked out of bounds by
Like you said, Slippery Rock able to put up 42 points, and that's the most points the Vulcans have given up this year by a long shot. Previous most was 26 in that overtime loss to Shepherd on September 17th. So Slippery Rock in some uncharted territory, putting up a ton of points on this Vulcan defense.
3rd and 2 now, coming up from the Rock 29, back on the ground again, looking to get it the easy way here. And I don't know if McCann's going to get that. Looks like he'll be short.
And at this point, if you're California, you're obviously in 4-down territory. You're down by,
at this point, you're right.
Down by 25 points. You need to be able to get anything on the board, and a field goal at this point won't cut it.
So the 4th and 2 try coming up here.
And 30% conversion on the year for the Vulcans on 4th down. Let's see if they can make that percentage a little bit higher on this one.
Mitchell, the short throw, that is complete. And that's a 1st down for Tarrant on the reception.
Great play call by the Vulcans. Tarrant on that option route could have either stayed on that stick or went out, decided to go out, and as we take a look at the replay, was able to find that space and well past the 1st down marker to make the catch.
Settling back in here again. Another 4-wide scenario on the way. Mitchell stepping up in the pocket, tripped up, dumped off. That was McCann again on the check down. Seen a couple of those so far on this drive that have actually came up with some pretty big yardage.
Yeah, what we thought was going to be a busted play, it turned into something positive for the Vulcans there. McCann on the little check down route. He doesn't get tripped up. It's probably a 1st down, and who knows, maybe off to the end zone.
2nd down and 3. Chewing up a decent amount of clock here. McCann on forward. He's got a 1st, but the ball might have popped out again.
Fumble on the play.
The Rock think they have it.
I was going to say, yeah, I think he was down, but they're going to roll. Oh, they came out.
They're still fighting for it at the bottom of that pile there. And yeah, the Rock's got the ball again.
And that's a momentum killer. I mean, as you're driving down the field, I guarantee you Coach Dunn's not too happy about that. As we have an injured Vulcan on the field. Look at the replay here. Let's see if we can spot where the ball popped out. I don't know about that one.
If we can get another look at it, it looks like maybe he was moving on his way down, but that's the 2nd time this game McCann has fumbled the ball and given it back over to Slippery Rock. So it's been a tough game for him. Usually the 1st down, every down back that we see for the most part, and with McGriff and Williams kind of just rotating in behind him, but today just hasn't just been a struggle for him. Hasn't really been able to get anything going, and like we talked about, 2 turnovers is never a good sign.
And they'll get the ball back here once again. Plenty of space for the Vulcans to try and pursue. You got them backed up close. Perhaps maybe you can strike defensively here.
And at points like that, it's just so deflating for your offense, just able to...
This is where you need your defense to break through, maybe push it back towards that goal line, come up with a close-range pick. You never know.
You never know, and this Vulcan defense is full of playmakers, especially in that linebacking core. You have Dillo, you have Toby, and you have the Miller brothers. They have been great, and they're no strangers at making big plays. And if there's, like I said earlier, if there's ever a time for this defense to make a big play, it's at this point. You're down 25 points. You still have the rest of this, the last 2.5 minutes of this quarter, and then the entirety of next quarter. It's not impossible to come back from, but it all has to start right here.
Got to get moving here.
This would be a big time spot for a turnover for the Vulcans if they can get one. You're well inside that Slippery Rock territory.
The Rock will start from their own 12 here. They'll head back to the ground on the carry.
Smith, the ball carrier.
And that's Tim Smith checking in to make some carries. Transfer from Fairmont State.
And you've said that a couple of times, a lot of transfers coming from other schools coming to Slippery Rock, and it just goes to show you the pedigree that this Rock football program has. It's been phenomenal the last couple of years.
And the Rock, a pretty well-established program here. Both of these teams are, but the Rock has a lot of transfers on this roster here. You look down the list. We'll check it out here after this. Another handoff. and immediately brought down. But you look down this list here, it's a good mix of D2, FCS, of course, FBS, Pitt, Akron, Community College, Lock Haven, Clarion on here, St. Francis, Fairmont State, North Dakota, West Liberty. A lot of talent from a lot of places. 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think they were going for the refrigerator play on that one and it didn't work.
Almost down to the end of the 3rd quarter here. Here's the 3rd and 4. Grover dropping back. He's got a chance letting this one fly, and that one batted away, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
You see Kenyon Johnson for
and there's a flag at the end here.
Just screaming at the referee, wanting a pass interference call, and I think that is going to go back, is going to end up biting him and going against him.
Michael Issam, number 15, back there defending. I mean, they're so used to it after that last drive. I'm sure they probably thought they might get another one here. Not necessarily how that works.
Yeah, this might be unsportsmanlike.
Oh, they are going to call another pass interference here. Wow, I was not expecting that.
I mean, that flag came in super late after the play, and like I said, from what Johnson's tone and his demeanor on the field, it looked like he was just upset about the call, and it looked like the flag came in after.
No, there's more flags getting thrown, and I think Dominic Sullivan Jr. here is going to get called for this one.
You don't want this to get too out of hand here.
That's going to go against Matt Tovey. I thought it was going to be Dominic Sullivan Jr. because he was the one that was over there talking to the referee. I thought he was the one that's going to get caught with the flag.
I mean, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. 1 minute left here, even in the 3rd quarter. Still one more quarter left between these two.
I mean, California.
And if it keeps going at this pace, might get even more chippy. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, they went from getting a stop on 3rd down to Slippery Rock taking possession of the ball almost inside of Cal territory. So, I mean, that just goes to show how these penalties have really swung this game.
Another handoff here up the middle.
Smith the ball carrier.
And Smith again on the ground into Vulcan territory.
And we've talked about this a lot, Johnny and I have, for the Vulcans this season. It's just, it seems like a couple of times they aren't as, I guess, mentally tough as you'd want them to be. They kind of let the moment get to them a little bit, and because of that, you've seen all these penalties, especially after the play, and just things that are unnecessary, and it's just, it has really gone back to hurt them.
We'll see if they let things run here. About 7 left on the play clock, so they'll have to get one more play off. It's a 2nd and 4 back on the ground again. And spinning forward. That should be the final play of the 3rd here.
Smith again, the ball carrier.
Smith brings us down to the end of the 3rd quarter here. 42-17, the 17th ranked Slippery Rock in the lead here. 4th quarter coming up right here on CUTV and 91.9 FM, WCAL.
Survive the clowns in Twisted Nightmare 3D. Experience more scares than ever before. Haunted Hills Estate Scream Park returns September 9th. Get your tickets now at hauntedhillsestate.com.
Back here for the beginning of the 4th quarter. things just not really going in the way of Cal U so far in this one. Momentum kind of changed after that fumble at the beginning of the game, Johnny, and it just kind of seems like it's been tough sledding ever since.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for the Vulcans ever since that fumble at the start of the game, and the Vulcans have been playing catch up ever since. Hopefully, we can get something here on stop here on this 3rd and 1.
Here is the handoff, and that's a first down for the Rock.
Smith, the ball carrier. Dillo on the stop.
Smith coming in here towards the end of the 3rd, and he has been very effective for the Rock.
He's done a great job so far, but we have some stats from the 3rd quarter. California doing a good job at coming back, but only have 7 points to show for it in that 3rd quarter. Starting off the second half, or the end of the first half with 146 yards total, and then by the end of the 3rd quarter have 304. So they're catching up in yardage, but just haven't been able to put the points on the board to show for it.
Yeah, but the other number to look at there's the 3rd down conversion rate. I mean, 4 of 14 for California is just unacceptable.
Waiting for another 1st and 10 here from the Vulcan 39. Back on the ground again. There's a breakthrough, and watch out over there on the far side. Thought we might see something coming up. Another receiver for the Rock taking a tumble at the end of the play there.
And not surprising to see a little chippiness between these two teams, like we talked about. Nice long-standing rivalries. Temper is always going to be high, and in a game that's a higher stakes like this one, you're always going to get the most heat and the most passion out of your players. And so far, that's gone in Slippery Rock's favor.
2nd and 12 now for them. Back to throw again. One-on-one matchup. And deflected away there. That one falls incomplete. Noah Hamlin in there getting a hand up.
Yeah, great coverage that time by Hamlin. We've seen this play time and time again from the Rock, just attacking these one-on-one matchups on the outside. Decent throw by Grover, a little bit behind Profit, who he was trying to find on that far side, but Hamlin doing a great job at recovering, getting back, and getting his hand in the way to break up that pass.
We'll see what they draw up here on this 3rd and 12. Another score here would be devastating to the chances here of this Vulcan team. Grover dropping back to throw. And had a man open there in 1st down yardage, but just a bit too short.
Yeah, I don't think Grover that time was entirely comfortable in the pocket. Just kind of seemed always to be on the back foot and just launched that one into the dirt. The Vulcans able to get a stop on 4th down, but it's still a mountain. They're going to have to climb Mount Everest to win this game.
Punt coming up here. Good handle. This one kicked away. Another end-over-end spinner. They'll let this one bounce. It'll be touched up around the 5.
Ball is down at the 7-yard
First time we've seen in a punt team for Slippery Rock in a while. Oh, but that was a stop that the Vulcans definitely needed there. However, they are pinned way back there by the 5 now.
We've said it all game, Johnny. It's been really tough for this Vulcan offense starting deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and like we've said, just when they get the momentum going their way, something comes along to kill that off on them. So hopefully this drive, the Vulcans can make a statement and come back and cut a little more into this lead.
I mean, you can never say never. You can never count any team out, but a 25-point deficit in the 4th quarter would be a comeback for the ages.
It would be something for sure.
Not the first time I've seen a 20-point deficit comeback.
Back for a handoff, and might be a loss of a few there. Back to the ground again, and that one pretty well read on the defensive side.
Yeah, McGriff trying to turn up field, but that Slippery Rock defense, and it's just all over him.
And it pushes the Vulcans back even further now, and
back to their own 3-yard line.
I mean, this would be a great time for a season-long play right here, you know.
Go for the home run ball. Mitchell has this one, dropping back. Checkdown's complete to the 10 and forced out of bounds after that. Junior McConaughey, one of the tight ends, number 84, bringing that one through.
Yeah, McConaughey been getting the start here the last couple of weeks. Not sure what happened to the senior tight end, Ian Edenfield. Oh, we haven't called his name in a long time.
3rd down and 6.
3rd down and 6 here. Time not on the side of Cal U in the remainder of this one. They'll have a 4-wide chance here. Across the middle, that is complete. Should be enough for a 1st down.
Greer with the reception, good for a ball.
Greer again.
1st down.
Yeah, Greer's starting to get brought it back into the offense here a little bit more, or that'll be his 2nd catch of the day.
1st and 10 from the 21.
Excuse me, that is his 1st.
So fresh set of downs to work with here for Cal U, but that clock is a-moving. 11.5 left in the final quarter of this one. Mitchell to throw again onto the outside, complete. But Tarrant pushed back after the reception.
After forward progress, it looks like they're going to give him a gracious maybe 2.5 yards on that one.
Yeah, great coverage that time by number 20 for Slippery Rock, Deshaun Wright. It was all, right on top of Tarrant as he made that catch. A good job by Tarrant, however, to hold on to that ball, but great coverage by Wright.
2nd and 8 now. Back to the ground on the handoff here. And drug along. That was McGriff carrying it to the outside.
Pushed out of bounds by Haynes.
That's been one of the better runs by McGriff on the game here. Usually we see a lot of that during the season. Over the course of the seasons, we see here a lot of good length in there in the C gap and just burst up field.
So a 3rd down and 1 now.
Down and 1.
We'll see if they can go short to get this one. That is complete. And enough once again for a 1st. And the last time we saw a lot of 1st downs getting strung together, say, a turnover popped up.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that isn't the case on this drive. Don't want to foreshadow anything, but Vulcan's going quickly.
Mitchell again towards the middle of the field, and that was almost a turnover there, but crossed into the 40 from Tarrant.
Yeah, dangerous throw by Mitchell. Had the tightest of windows and was able to fit that one in there to Tarrant. Like you said, could have been picked off, but there is an injured Slippery Rock member down the field. That'll be number 2, Jacob Williams, on the near side.
As they were getting ready to start the clock there, so we're going to get a few seconds put back on there for California.
Vulcan's doing a great job so far on this drive of getting some offense going. But as we take a look once again at the PSAC West standings.
You might have a little bit of an updated look here, Johnny, as most of those games in the books as of today.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, IUP, it hasn't updated it yet, but it should state that they are 5-0 in conference play, 7-0 overall. Number 1 in the West, Gannon, who did win, and that did update for them, sits at 6-2 overall. All California will see here in 2 weeks. A 4-1 record, followed by California and Slippery Rock. So the winner of this game will move into 3rd place and be tied with Gannon for 2nd.
Gannon, a surprise team so far this season. I don't think anybody really saw them coming.
And they made a great improvement from last year. And like you talked about, not a team that anyone really had on the radar. You talked about the big 3 in California, Slippery Rock and IUP being up there as the 3 best teams in this conference, but Gannon right along there with them.
Mitchell back to throw on the screen to the outside to McGriff. And that one closed off efficiently.
I think McGriff might have just got back to the line of scrimmage, if a 1-yard gain at most.
So a yard on the play, 2nd down and 11.
Drop back after a yard there, so 2nd down and 11. Sitting at the Rock 40.
And that sun finally almost making its way fully out of the picture here.
And you can tell the temperature drop now for sure.
Mitchell back to throw again, stepping up in the pocket, pump fakes. Now he'll run with this one and slides down at the 35.
Slides down at the 35-yard
Good
line.
play by Mitchell there, realizing all of his targets were covered, and just said, "I'll do it myself." Often picks up that lost yard and a little bit more.
Looks like 3rd down and 7 queued up here. Mitchell again. He goes back to McGriff on the ground, and McGriff swallowed up by that defensive push from the Rock.
Not what you wanted to go for there. Yeah, the draw plays worked a lot of the time during the game, but need to come up with something different here.
Yeah, interesting to see because, like you talked about, it was a 4th and 7, and you just needed to be able to get some big yardage, and on the ground it hasn't been quite the case so far this game.
So here's a 4th and 9 try for Mitchell. He's back to throw, and Mitchell swallowed up in the backfield for a turnover on downs.
Sacked behind the line of scrimmage.
Not what you wanted to see there, but
Run down by
the Rock
Josh
bringing the heat there. As the Vulcan is trying to get something going and couldn't. And as here comes the linebacking core of Slippery Rock after him.
Yeah, great defensive play by the Rock. Stokes coming in on that outside, on that corner blitz, and just was able to get to Mitchell. But even with the Vulcans getting a nice drive going, getting some first downs, getting some yardage, it ends up in nothing, and it also ends up in a lot of time taken off the clock.
8:38 left in this one. There's the Rock back to it again, and they'll stick to the ground here. That's Chris Wells again back on the ground for the Rock.
Stopped by Mormon and Corboy.
Von Mormon stepping up there on the DB blitz from the Vulcans.
And as this game winds down, Slippery Rock just the winning in this game will just be a formality. Just need to close things out. But I mean, for them, looking forward to the end of the season, you're talking about a team that may have a lot of regret losing that very close one to IUP a couple of weeks ago.
2nd down and 9 here. Rock on their own 46 as they lead 45-17. Delayed handoff. And just back to the line of scrimmage there.
Looks like the scoreboard operator needs to make an adjustment, and that is not correct.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10 coming up here.
Even as this game has waned on, this Vulcan defense has seemed to be able to get more and more efficient in stopping not only the run but the pass as well, but they need to be able to get a stop here.
Back to throw again, bumping off a few, and tied up as Grover.
Grover sacked behind the line of scrimmage, brought down by Mormon.
Kevon Mormon making his way into the backfield there. Big loss there for the Rock.
Yeah, as we take a look here, we see the Vulcans bringing an extra DB on the blitz there.
From the 30.
There, he bounced off of one defender, and then Mormon was just waiting there on the side to get him again.
So another chance for the punt team here. That punt team, one of the biggest highlight plays in this one, came from them. Oh, and can't get a handle on this one. Will we see it again? And rugby style, able to get that one away. And they were able to get the punt away there, but boy, A lot of pressure there.
Going with a rugby-style punt there.
Yeah.
But he had to hurry because the Miller brothers are screaming down off the edge after him.
Yeah, I'm not too sure Kyle Butts back there. I really thought he didn't have this much work to do in the punting game. I mean, you don't really expect the snaps like that. A couple times already this game, low snaps, but Butts doing a great job at adjusting and able to make the plays that he needs to.
Mitchell again ready to take over with 6:10 left in this one. Mitchell again, complete. Jackson across the 50.
Jackson with the reception. Cut down by Abdul Hakim.
Really, like you said here, Sabe, more of a formality at this point, just trying to wrap things up, and you want to look forward and at least try to stay well put together for next week when you hit the road.
Yeah, both teams hitting the road next week. California facing off against the Lakers of Mercyhurst, and then Slippery Rock facing off against the Golden Eagles of Clarion. But like I talked about, if you're Slippery Rock at this point, with such a convincing win like this, and you take a look back at California's game against IUP a couple weeks ago, and then you look back even further to the when Slippery Rock and IUP played against each other, if you're the Rock, you think that you had such a missed opportunity in that game. I mean, you're talking about a chance to beat one of the two teams that you pretty much thought that the whole way were going to be your rivals, and following that one against the Crimson Hawks was just devastating for them. And I mean, they still have plenty of a chance to.
I guess it really comes down to that final schedule for IUP and who's on it.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping not only do you need to win out, but you're hoping that IUP it falls off along the way. And
Johnny, why don't you take a look at that, see who's coming up here for IUP as they look to close out their season.
I can tell you they still have yet to play Gannon on their schedule. Well, I know that one is for sure, and I believe that they still have other than their crossover matchup.
Should they even play it?
Yeah, should they even play their crossover matchup if they're not in the PSAC?
They should be taking on Shepherd, technically in a crossover matchup, so kind of, but not kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the remaining schedule goes for the Crimson Hawks. They have that surprise team in Gannett, and who's been red hot lately. Clarion and for senior day, and then wrap up with Bloomsburg, or if not the PSAC title game.
Williams back on the ground for a first down for Cal U. So really the hopes for the Rock here are probably going to come down to that Gannon contest.
I mean, you need to, and we saw last year with IUP after falling against the Vulcans last year, fell in the week after against Edinburgh, which kind of gave Slippery Rock the advantage in terms of that. But you are hoping for IUP to fall off in these last coming weeks.
Here's Mitchell teeing this one up. Might have a chance at the long ball. That one's incomplete. We do have a flag down on the near side here.
I think this is going to be in the realm of defensive holding against Slippery Rock.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 32.
There is some defensive holding, John.
Automatic first down.
So another first down here for the Cal U offensive unit.
1st and 10 Vulcans from the 30.
So not only is that not going to give the Vulcans the first down, it's going to stop the clock here as well. Also, the Vulcans have a little under 5.5 to go here in regulation.
Ready again here. As the ball sits at the Rock 30. Mitchell onto the outside. That's complete at the 25. And shoved backwards there, trying to make headway towards that 20.
Another great route by Jackson on that curl coming back. So we take a look at the replay. Nice job of making one-man miss and just trying to pick up some extra yardage, and is able to pick up about 8 on the play and bring up a 2nd and short for the Vulcans.
Handoff again for Williams. Here's Williams, first down yardage across the 20.
Ball carrier good for Vulcans. First down.
And looking at all games on this Vulcan schedule so far this year, you can take a look at the 3 losses that they faced already in Kutztown, Shepherd, and IUP, and you look at those games, and all 3 of those games were
all close.
Nail biters, games where they had the lead and they kind of just fell off right at the end. I mean, this game, it looks like there's an injured Slippery Rock member on the field, but like I was saying, in this game, just very different than those other 3. Just it seems like from the very beginning, Slippery Rock just had that edge, had that advantage, especially after that fumble very early on in the game. And it just seems the tone of this game has been way different than those other ones.
You could really seem as if some air came out of the game after that first turnover, and it just feels like it's been hard to get it back into the game after that.
And yeah, exactly. And it's super hard for a team to adjust on the fly like that, especially a team that is so great on offense for the most part in this Vulcan offense. Don't talk about them turning the ball over too much before this game. You usually don't see anything like that. And once you get that one chink in your armor, it's hard to keep out the other thrusts that Slippery Rock give to you, and it's just been hard for the Vulcans to come back from it.
The Rock has won 8 of the last 10 of these matchups. But Cal U, they won 7 of the last 9 meetings here at Adamson Stadium since 2003, but don't think the Magic's going to live up to the billing this time around.
And unfortunately, I hate to agree with you, Colin, but I think you're right on that one.
Mitchell again to throw in the backfield, being swarmed, still holding on, and he'll just go down with this one around the 25.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Not much he could have done on that one, and he held in there as long as he could. I mean, he shook off 2 defenders already. I don't know if he was going to get that 3rd one off.
Just want to say this game goes to a testament of how great this Slippery Rock team is, not only as a school, but this program has been great. Sean Lutz, this will be his 7th year at the helm of the Rock, and he's just been great. After this game, will improve to 5-1 overall against the Vulcans in his time at the school.
Mitchell again on the check down, complete at the 20. Good move there from Williams, and Williams stretching out for the 15.
Picked up the yardage from that sack there, and got on some extra on that too.
So it looks like it will be 3rd and 8 now from the Rock 16. Looking for a few extra points here is this Vulcan offensive unit. Just about all said and done in this one. 3:10 left before it's all closed up. Mitchell to throw again. On the outside, that's complete. Awkward tackle there, slung down around the 10.
Yeah, that one, and his hands a little further up the jersey. That's probably another penalty against Slippery Rock.
4th down and 3.
And they might stay out there for this 4th and 3.
Yeah, it looks like it's exactly what the Vulcans are going to do here.
4th and 3 from the Rock 11. 4 wide set for Mitchell, looking on the outside, might have a chance at this one, bobbled the whole way, and they're signaling for a touchdown.
Jaquade Jackson.
2-touchdown day for him.
No stranger to it, and we saw that earlier in the first half where he almost caught that touchdown pass, and very similar spot as we take a look at the replay once again, and Mitchell just throwing that high only for where Jackson can get it, and Jackson able to pull that in and get the toes in for the touchdown, so another 2-touchdown game for him.
And that's going to put Noah Mitchell over 300 yards passing on the day now.
Here's Beatco again. Holds down, the kick is up. Oh, and it's off the left upright there and sneaks its way through. So 42-24, the Rock in the lead, 2:22 left in this one. Stay tuned for finale right here on CUTV at 91.9 FM.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back here. 2:22 remaining in this matchup. Score for the Vulcans, and a bit of time remaining here to see what both of these teams can do. Maybe some players out there on the field that don't normally see some action. Waiting for the kickoff here. Kicks up and away. Long kick and on into the end zone there.
Got a couple interesting stats that I've been looking at.
Sure.
Here coming into this game. This will be the fourth time this season the Rock have scored over 40 points, and in back-to-back games doing so, scoring 40 last week against Gannon, 42 here. This will be the second tied for the second highest points that they've scored all year, scoring 45 against Millersville a couple weeks ago, and then tied with their very first game against Wayne State from Michigan, scoring 42 in that one. But this will be the most points that the Rock have given up all year, 24 in this game. Their previous high was the 20 that they gave up to IUP in the loss. So, I mean, even though the Vulcans aren't able to get the win today, it's it's a couple of takeaways from that, you know.
Here's the Rock offense back again. And another handoff just to get that clock rolling.
Thought that one was going to get blown up in the backfield, but Smith humbling forward for a couple yards.
Gain of a yard, second down and 9.
But now you just wrap this one up and you get ready to think forward about that next road matchup coming up next week. It's a very winnable matchup against those Mercyhurst Lakers, having a bit of a down season. You just have to go out there and prepare and get ready to go back to work.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw last week, Colin, Mercyhurst losing and then a heartbreaker up there.
Yeah, to Clarion.
On the last second field goal.
Back up to the line again. Working deep into the play clock. Another handoff on the ground. Another flag here. And just tumbling forward for Wells, but I wonder if we'll see a hold called here very late. And a hold on the offense here.
And then they'll get number 85 for the Rock. It'll be Andrew Miller, the responsible party in that penalty. Move the Rock back, but like you talked about next week, California against Mercyhurst. Mercyhurst, like you talked about, was struggling so far this year. California, after this game, I mean, the odds of them making any sort of PSAC title game extremely, extremely low, and besides a miracle. But
you just really got to go out there and play for pride in those final few games.
Yeah, just need to be able to get the wins that you can when you need to.
Just
and
enjoy your time, you know?
Have some fun at the end of the season.
That's right. Handoff up the middle.
Especially for plenty of the guys on this team,
And it's nice for those upperclassmen. Really, they'll have a chance to finish out 2 in a row at home to close out their last season.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the returning members from the team last year, a lot of seniors on this team, including very own quarterback Noah Mitchell.
Under a minute left to go here. It's a 3rd and 15. Just trying to work things out. Let's see another rush on the ground here. And that'll work things out. Here's the handoff again.
We're in a very similar situation to that last week. I know Johnny remembers it when we could hear the coaches yelling on the other side of the wall, telling them that they need to be able to run one more play before the time would come up. And they're like, you just need to run the play, run it, because to run out all the time that they had.
And those final few moments working their way off the clock here. 42-24 is going to be the final score in this one, as both of the teams meet in the middle of the field here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that will do it as the 17th ranked Slippery Rock get the win here and improve to 7-1. They're now 4-1 in PSAC West play, while Cal U falls to 4-4, but they are 3-2 in PSAC West play. Sape, any final thoughts here in this one?
It's just a tough game overall for the Vulcans. Like I said, they've shown some flashes, they've shown some good stuff. It was just a tough one, but it's always an honor to get a game alongside you. Really appreciate you coming down.
I appreciate that. Johnny, any final thoughts for you?
Rough one today. And after that early on fumble, all California just trying to fight that uphill battle. But coming back with a late 8, I give them credit for that one, and go back to the locker room, come up with a plan for next week.
Thank you to everybody helping out on the crew here as always, and thank you to all the Vulcan fans tuning in from all around the world, wherever you may be. Special thanks to Gary Smith for having me back for this homecoming edition, and for John